What's up, everybody? Buckle up, sports fanatics. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast, your HQ for in-depth sports talk. Join host Kevin L. Warren and crew as they dissect the hottest stories, ignite debates, and bring you closer to the action. From locker room whispers to expert takes, we cover it all. It's game time, so strap in and grab a drink. The Sports Chasers Podcast starts right now.
Hey, good evening, everybody. What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a wonderful, great Thursday. Hey, man, it's another edition of the Sports Chasers Podcast, man. Hey, tonight is going to be like one of the dopest episodes ever, man. We got a special treat. We got a for real special treat tonight, man. We got a special guest tonight. Hey, we got the East Coast Gridiron Podcast in the house tonight, man. Yo, we're going to have a good time tonight talking about the NFL draft. We're going to talk about the first round, get through all 32 teams. And, man, we're going to make this collaboration really good, man. And I appreciate them. I'm going to introduce them first. But, hey, let's meet the crew. One of the Sports Chasers crew, of course. We got the DA. DA, what's up, man? What's happening, bro?
Just here to get the education, you know? We're going to go through this and see what some smart guys think about football. Rather than out the ass, things that we say on a weekly basis. Yeah, this is going to be good.
Nah, this is going to be fun, man. Shout out to the East Coast Gridiron Podcast, man. Mike Mills should be on here shortly, and D-Dubs will be with us shortly. And, we're going to get this in, get it done. Hey, so let me introduce the guests here, man. As it was sent to me, the East Coast Gridiron. Hold on, got Mike Mills here. Mills, what's up? Mills Kiper Jr. It's not Mel Kiper Jr. It's Mills Kiper Jr. That's what we call him. Look, he got it on.
What's good? Yeah, he in the cut chilling whenever y'all ready for him to come on.
And Mike Mills, he's a Raven fan. I think one of you guys is a Raven fan, but I'll introduce you here in a little bit. So
I grew up in Baltimore, so I was close there, okay. Man.
So the East Coast Gridiron, they was founded in 2019, right? So they're a football media company founded. They talk NFL and college and UFL, of course. They break down film and variety of football content. Their fearless leader, my main man, Dante, man. We had a conversation with Dante. Dante, he's a graduate from the Academy of Scouting as of February. He's credentialed media several times, the Senior Bowl, NFL Combine, and the Gasparilla Bowl. I actually shout out to them because I saw you guys at both the Senior Bowl and the NFL Combine. So shout out to you guys. He's coached high school football and played high school football, podcasting since 2019. Florida State, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Seattle Seahawks fans. He is. Dante, real quick, one question. Were you mad when Florida State got jammed up or whatever?
Nope, I was the only one that said that we wouldn't make it, so I wasn't upset.
That's why you my man. That's why you my man. Because I was telling these Florida State, I'm down here in South Florida, and I was telling the Florida, I said, get over it. Play in a better conference. I don't want to hear nothing no more.
I didn't want to get smashed when we got there, so I'm okay. I'm okay get smashed in the bowl game where everybody opted out.
We're gonna move on. Don, he started
podcasting. We'll talk offline about that.
We got Don. He started podcasting with Dante in 2019. He's the East Coast Gridirons. He's the stat guy, statistician. He's a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Boo. He's a Baltimore Ravens guy, Maryland Terps fan. And Don, shout out to Don, man. Thank you, man, for joining us tonight, bro. Appreciate you.
Hey, I'm glad to be here, man. Hanging out with people who love the same stuff.
Oh man, this is gonna be awesome, man. Awesome.
Don't he sound like Mike Mayock?
Start with that.
Damn.
He was Delco
Mike
County.
Mayock
I grew up
was
in Chester County, okay?
Mike Mayock was the joint.
He was.
Well, that's an old term, but he was the joint until he got to out there with the Raiders and everything went bad. Because he was, if anyone did this mock draft shit right, it was him.
Bingo.
Yep.
Me and Don were a fanboy over Mike Mayock. Believe me, he was one of our favorites.
Real.
So let me meet Evan. Evan got on the flannel, as he said, he throwing the flannel right before he got on.
Yes.
AKA Sora, man. He joined ECG in 2022. He's credentialed media several times, Senior Bowl, Info Combine, and the Gasparilla Bowl. Florida Gators guy, Philadelphia Eagles fan, and he has coached girls flag football. Shout out to all of the ECG folks here. Let me give y'all some applause, man. I got some real applause here. Let me see. There you go.
Yes.
Applause, man. I needed like a stadium roar, man. So, man, I ain't mean to do it twice.
Hey, double applause, encore. Appreciate you.
Do you want some more, like Jay said, right? So, Dante, I'm gonna just give you a couple words before we start, man. Thank you again, man, for joining us, man. This has been great. I sent Dante a note here probably about a month or so ago. I said, hey, man, it would be a great idea to collab, man, and do something, man. I see you guys are trying to do something. I've been watching y'all doing y'all thing with the combine and with the Senior Bowl, and y'all going out there and being real journalists. Because, you know, at the end of the day, right, that's what this is about, man. You know, you want to get the truth out, and I see the passion what you guys got, and I definitely appreciate it. And like DA said, man, thank you so much. I'm gonna give it to you for a few minutes before we start. Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, man. First of all, appreciate you guys having us, man. When you hit me up, I was, you know, I love collaborating with people. So, and I watch you guys on the back. I'm one of those guys that doesn't comment all the time. You probably see me pop in and out.
Same with me with y'all guys. Yes.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be editing to have you guys up. So, you know, that's how I do. But yeah, when you hit me up, I was like, this is a no-brainer. Love the way that you guys are lighthearted, just like us too. Not taking yourself serious, but when you're having true conversation, that's where it's all at right there. And I appreciate that from you guys, and hopefully, you know, our audience they know it's like that with us too. So as far as like the media stuff is concerned, man, I told these guys from the get, that's what I want to do. I want to be out there interviewing the players, asking the questions that everybody else is not asking, because I think it's our responsibility to put these guys on a bigger platform, especially some of these guys that aren't ranked as high as others, like Terrence Taylor, right? One of my favorite interviews out of Toledo, edge rusher out of Toledo. I was watching Quinyon Mitchell's film, one of the highest rated cornerbacks in his draft, and I noticed him against the Illinois game putting in that work, and I was like, this dude reminds me of so many of the great edge rushers that we've known over the years. And I reached out to him, and he's like, man, I might go undrafted, but you know, I'm eligible for the draft this year, and he's been injured a couple different times. But that's the kind of the cool stuff, is like I get to put him on the pedestal that he probably deserves. And you never know who's going to come out and watch our videos as well.
Go ahead, DA.
It remind me of Alden. He's long like Alden. My man. He's long. Yeah, I've seen the kid from Toledo on Tuesday night games, Wednesday night games. Yeah, he reeks at it. So yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
good motor. He has good size. Those are the kids that you wonder what happened in high school, and you know, maybe they didn't have the grades, or maybe they had a growth spurt. You know, because you see them in Toledo and schools like that, and you're like, wow, he's maybe too big to be here. You know, too long. You know, so yeah.
His story's kind of. Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because his story was kind of unique. We talked behind the scenes, and then we got into it a little bit of, you know, why he went to Toledo, but he was like, I was like, was that one of the schools? You know, I never want to ask him, like, you know, what schools are for you, because that really doesn't matter. You were where you were at the time. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about that. But he would, you know, I asked him behind the scenes. I was like, what's that? You know, did you get any bigger names that offered you? I didn't want to put that on stream, but you got any bigger names? Like, why'd you not chose them over Toledo? He was so genuine about it. He was like, dude, when I got to Toledo, it was like I was at my home away from home, because he's from Chicago. And he was like, I just felt at home. The atmosphere was a little different. He's like, I just felt like that was my place. But he had offers from Illinois, Iowa. Like, he was a dog in high school, and he chose to go there out of some of the bigger schools. So, and he stayed there his whole career, you know? So kudos to him.
Good. That sometimes that's a great tactical move, because like being great at Toledo is better than being buried in Illinois. right? Well, you're on the team, you got a scholarship, you may be outperforming dudes, but it's probably a lot more politics at Iowa and Illinois than there are at Toledo. So, be careful what you wish for.
Yep, gotcha. Shout out to all those in the comments so far. Key in building, thank you, appreciate it. Dana Robinson, got Debbie, thank you. BLSG, thank you, appreciate it. Those on Facebook, those on Instagram, or on Twitter, formerly known as X. Of course, the YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you pound that like button, and hit the share button, man. And we trying to do something tonight. We are doing something tonight. A little collaboration here with ECG, man. So we're gonna get it on to what we was here for. The draft, which will be next week in Detroit, I believe. Shout out to D-Town. Yep. They'll be getting it on next week, and we're gonna jump right into the draft here. So round one, like we're gonna go through the first round only, and we're just gonna get our opinions, get the ECG opinion, and the sports chaser will come in, and we'll do a little of who goes where. What do you think? And when it comes to this, so if it's next Thursday, the Chicago Bears are on the clock via Carolina. Ooh, Carolina, man, that keeps on giving. Shout out to all my people in Charlotte. I love y'all, man, but y'all own them, man. Tepper, boy.
Not mad about that. So who we got? Why you got to keep going here? Why? Hey guys, who do you guys have going number one?
Well, we already know it's Tyson Badgett season. Let's just throw out all better than any. Nah, it's Caleb Williams. I mean, it's a no-brainer at this point. I really enjoy throwing the Tyson Badgett season.
Should we flip it on who we think should go there versus who
I'm about to say
let's give fun.
Y'all hold on. Y'all think somebody else should go there?
Yes.
Yeah. So
you might have missed it, but I believe Dante said that. Oh, you guys believe all quarterbacks should go in the second round?
Yeah, that's
facts.
Let's go.
Right. Absolutely.
Who we got?
Absolutely.
So Caleb Williams is gonna go for sure. I mean, at this point in time, it's just so obvious that at first it wasn't, but the last 2 weeks have made it so obvious that that's who they're going with. So, you'd be unless they want to throw a wrench in there somewhere. What are you gonna say?
Sam Hartman, number one. No, before Justin Fields, yes, it was absolutely a toss of the coin of
right.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. We think Bo Nix should go there. To be honest,
that's a good idea. I think he has.
Yeah.
No, it's not that he's a better Mike. I don't think he's a better quarterback. I think he has thicker skin. That's why I think Bo Nix.
I would say
he had to transfer to Oregon to get nice. I don't want to hear it.
No, I'm not talking about playing. I'm talking about he has thicker skin.
My man ran from the SEC, but he got tougher skin.
Listen.
So did his coach.
So did his coach. Yeah, he's in UCF right now.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
What I'm just saying is to say that I think he's a tougher guy than Caleb is. Caleb ran to the stands to his mother. Period. Point blank. Period. End. I put it.
Yeah. You got some size on there.
I think a lot of just the both. I mean, both of these guys, not even picking one over the other. I think the Caleb Williams and Bo Nix being Caleb ran to the Saints, cried to his mom. Bo Nix, ran from the SEC. I think all that's just kind of blown out of proportion.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them were not in good. Bo Nix was not in a good situation at Auburn, and then Caleb Williams. I mean, that defense is terrible. So this dude was 6th in the nation out of every offensive player, 6th in the nation in most points scored. I mean, he's giving it his all out there, and his defense is just letting everything through.
Oh my God, the defense was trash.
I'd be crying too in my mom's arms.
26 out of 133 schools. That's where their defense was ranked.
I too would be crying in my mother's arms, bro.
No, in my opinion, guys, I think
get hit 5 times and we still lose. Come on now, I can't. What else
I can't do this anymore.
I think he has a talent for sure. And I agree with both. Like I said, I wouldn't have a problem if Bo went there because, like I said, I think Bo is a tough kid. I remember the shit he got in the SEC. And look, with his first game at Oregon, he got smashed out by Georgia, like 4,004. Right?
Yeah.
And, he stuck in. Now we're talking about in a time now where dudes are dipping and dabbing and moving and this, that, and the third. I'm just saying the dude didn't fold. And he stayed in that game until they pulled him out that game because Georgia was beating the living shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Davis fell on him 7 times. And that should be against the law for any goddamn body. For him to still be there, my man. How Denzel saying in Training Day? My man.
Yeah, man. Caleb Williams is the obvious answer for this, but also I can't be naive to think that the kid is a bad quarterback. The only thing that I've said that you can honestly see on film and what he's been getting from the media is like the comparison to Patrick Mahomes. He's in his head and he's trying to be too much of Patrick Mahomes instead of being what got him the Heisman in the first place. You know what I'm saying? You saw the hairstyles and everything. Like, you know, it's like you're too much trying to be like Patrick Mahomes. Just be yourself. And to me, he had the best pro day out of all the quarterbacks. He threw the most passes out of all the quarterbacks. He didn't waver. When we were at the combine, a lot of people give him crap, right? But yeah, of course, he didn't do any of his workouts, whatever, working with his agent. You know, I feel a certain way about that. But on the other side of that too, when we were at the combine, me and Hayden, he was the last quarterback on the field going and showing things to some of the receivers and some of his former teammates about, like, they were asking him advice, or he was staying back with the coach asking him like, hey, what should we do there? And then you hear that from a couple scouts too that were saying the same thing. Like, he was one of the only quarterbacks that was literally trying to be a sponge at the combine, even though he wasn't doing any workouts. So to me, that was like, that's pretty admirable from this guy too. So, but the Bo versus Caleb thing, to me, I think Bo's going to be able to stand in there, being able to take the hits, not feel sorry for herself, and take the lumps and bumps versus a Caleb Williams, because everybody's been saying this dude's the number one guy for 2 years straight, and then they're going to want to get him out of there. Like, we already know Eberflus is on his last leg. That he needs this to work out. Ryan Poles needs this to work out. They already did. I mean, it's like, why would you draft the similar quarterback of Justin Fields just to have the same situation happen all over again?
Because Chicago, I'll just say it, they're special. I'm not going to say the bad word because I got guests tonight, but yeah, they're special. They're special. Let's move on to the second pick. The Washington Commanders, they got the second pick. What are they doing with that pick here?
It's they're the wild card.
I was about to say the first pick for Chicago is pretty much a lock.
Yes,
it's the second pick that gets interesting because it's going to be quarterback, but it's just a toss up of who: McCarthy, Jaden Daniels. It's a lot of. Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Let me ask you this, and this might be.
Yeah, go ahead.
How did McCarthy, how did his stock just rose? It looked like the last month. It just
mission. I mean, no, I agree with you, and I absolutely, because, and that's also part of the is it true or is it smokescreen of, you know, McCarthy going that far, or even like same thing with Drake May or Jaden Daniels. It's all a bunch of just either the media pushing it out, or, you know, Jaden Daniels, he won the Heisman. JJ McCarthy won the national championship, despite Blake Horn and Donovan Edwards literally carrying that entire offense on their back.
Also, on the flip side of that, I think JJ McCarthy and Sam Hartman are in the opposite situation. And here's why I say that. If Sam Hartman would have took Notre Dame to national championship and won, do you not think that he'd be considered in the first round?
Yeah, because we're what's that, recency bias?
He's the most pro-ready quarterback in the draft, and they're talking about this dude gonna go undrafted because he went to another situation and betted on himself. That's crazy.
And also another thing is he showed something that will not show up in the stats. He went from Wake Forest to Notre Dame. The weather there is night and day. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he showed that he can play in either climate, which is that's stuff you got to think about.
But check this out though. The reason why is honestly because of his age, because of how he handles the media. Regardless of what people want to say, you got to throw those outside factors in there. He's a very marketable guy, and he was a Jim Harbaugh protege type dude, and he was an NFL quarterback. So, with all that being said, with all the connections that John Harbaugh's got in the league too, and them just winning a national championship helps out your resume more than the Sam Hartman. And, you know, Jaden Daniels won the Heisman, so he's got that going for him. But you have the anomaly in Drake May that could be chosen to go there too. And we're just doing that off of speculation and talent that we saw from the very first year. You know what I'm saying? So, like, this is why it's such an anomaly. And these dudes could honestly pick Michael Penix Jr. and drop a bomb on everybody.
I mean, that is true.
Cliff
That would be a
Kingsbury just came
Redskin
from the
thing to do.
Pac-12.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that too. But
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a Cliff Kingsbury decision that's going to help this through. I honestly
Yeah.
do. Dan Quinn's a defensive coordinator. He's already failed once at this, you know.
Mightily.
You know,
Yeah.
who
And Cliff did too. I mean, let's be honest.
Oh, man, we'll talk. We have to have another show about my Cliff Kingsbury.
So I got a theory on McCarthy.
Go
I
ahead.
feel like because his coach got that Chargers job and he don't want that draft pick. He want to trade it and get some more draft picks. He did that McCarthy campaign. Like, you know what? Yeah, look, this is my guy, man. Come on, take him. Come take my draft pick. You can go get him at number 5. Y'all can do whatever y'all want later. Just come get my guy. I think that's why McCarthy stock rose so high. I think it's a hardball mouthpiece trick.
Oh, it's
that's also
absolutely
true.
that.
I mean, even with like before he was even the Chargers head coach, boosting JJ's draft stock up. I mean, constantly said he's the best quarterback in the class, and still even says that in with the Chargers. Obviously, the Chargers aren't going to trade up and draft him. They've got Justin Herbert, but still.
But hold up, though. I honestly think that could.
Don't do it.
I haven't told y'all this.
Don't do it, Dante.
But I'm about to drop a bomb.
Oh my
That could be
God.
the biggest bomb that gets dropped in this draft. It's Justin Herbert going to the Commanders and him going to go get JJ. I feel like that's.
If you believe him that much, then go ahead.
I believe that could happen, but the pick here, I think, is JJ McCarthy. To be completely honest, I think that's the first bomb that gets dropped, and it's going to screw everybody up. And I'm here for it. Honestly, I want to see the chaos.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it as an Eagles fan. I'm fine with this.
Yeah, me too. I choose.
He doesn't have a Blake Corum or Donovan Edwards to hand it off to in Washington, so
Right.
I'm okay with this. Plus, Scary Terry might want to trade. I'm good. I'm chilling.
Ooh.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Next up, the New England Patriots. They pick at 3.
See,
Go ahead.
now
Sorry.
this is where I think the bomb could potentially drop.
all right.
Because while yes, they have more than likely they will draft a quarterback in this draft. But they also have no major weapons. You're not telling me you can't get Marvin Harrison Jr. at 3 and then draft a quarterback early in the second.
Yes.
We played around with the idea of Brock Bowers going here too.
And also Brock Bowers. I mean, New England just needs all offense. There's not enough draft picks for New England right now to pick offense. I mean, it's bad. The offensive roster is not good. You're telling me Jalen Rager's your number 2? No.
Yeah,
Kendrick Bourne's your number 1. He's a good number 2. He ain't no number 1.
Oh, Kendrick Bourne, maybe.
He more like a 2.5.
I mean,
He's almost
2 to 3.
He like a
He's
2.5.
almost that slot. He's a big slot right now.
Yeah, some weeks he's that number 2. Rest of them he's that number 3. You're telling me Marvin Harrison Jr. wouldn't look good for this, and then get a quarterback like a Sam Hartman, or if like a Bo Nix were to drop in the second round?
Yeah,
Spencer Rattler, Joe Milton.
Yeah.
Or just rock out with Bailey Zappi. I mean, that is also a possibility.
What do you have, Don? What you got, Don? Let the stat man talk.
Well, with the second and the third pick, I look at the ownership of the teams.
Okay.
And I think the ownership of Washington goes with McCarthy, like we mentioned. But I think the ownership here is going to go for the Heisman Trophy winner and take Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Agreed.
That is potential.
So I was talking to my Patriot guy before the show, and he was like, if Jaden Daniels ain't there, trade it and do it the Belichick way. Just trade now, get more, and figure it out. But if Jaden Daniels, I feel like you can't pass him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Jaden Daniels goes right here. Flip of the coin, maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. Everything else is just speculation. I don't think they're gonna. Drake May just doesn't seem like a Patriot guy. They've already done that how many times already?
Yes,
that is fair. And it's also
you brought Jacoby Brissett in there to probably just coach up Bailey Zappi, and I think he's probably going to be the future there. So,
and then also to even look at what Dana said about the Commanders, this is also, I mean, Antonio Pierce. It's no secret, dude loves Jaden Daniels. So I mean, this is also potentially a trade up to 3. That's also another bomb. It's going to be a very interesting draft.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it'll happen. I don't think there's enough for them to do it besides Devontae Adams, which they won't give up. But
Nobody's mock drafts are going to be right in this draft.
No.
I can almost guarantee it. It's going to be broken on 2. Pick 2 is going to break everybody, and 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
2 and 3. I think it's like you said, Dante. It's going to absolutely be the game changers. It's going to mess everything up. Let's go.
Everybody's going to get it right on 1, and 2 and 3 is where like half the brackets are going to be broken.
Yep.
Number 4, the Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals. What's they need? What do you think?
Everything.
Well,
yeah, they got a couple holes, but you got Kyler Murray there that doesn't really have a number 1 right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you get them neighbor?
It's pretty obvious that Marvin Harrison Jr. wants to go there, and he's already said that he's okay going to the Arizona Cardinals too. Like he will embrace that there. I mean, you're filling in to be a legacy guy like Larry Fitzgerald was. You know what I'm saying? And who wouldn't want to take that torch on? Remember how Larry was?
That's not going to be his quarterback after next year.
Oh, probably not. But he totally helps any other rookie or next guy that's coming in too. Let's be honest here.
About to say that. Okay.
I mean, Arizona has needs for wide receiver, linebacker, cornerback, and you look at those positions and what is the highest profile available player out of those 3? It's Marvin Harrison.
You can't pass up on them, man. I mean, they're living in 2003 when they drafted Larry Fitzgerald. They want that next guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool to see Marvin Harrison Jr. don a number 11?
I know.
It's not retired. I mean, it's
not retired.
It's
I'm sure Larry Fitzgerald will be like, I'm a future Hall of Famer. Your dad's a Hall of Famer. I played in the same era as your dad. Go ahead and don a number 11. Arizona, I think after him is going to be the quarterback place. Like they're going to have so many Hall of Famers that come out of there now that if he goes there, he'll plant the flag for sure. But I just see that happening, man. How many times have we seen that just numbers don't retire? They just get recycled to the next great guy.
The next great guy.
It should be beautiful.
Absolutely. Let's move along. The LA Chargers.
Oh my gosh.
What is
You're gonna get different answers here.
All right.
Yeah, let's all just give our different answers because like I'll go first and just start this out. But I'm gonna spoil my top 25, which we're gonna put out tomorrow a little bit, but it has been no mystery because I've said this time and time again. Brock Bowers is the most complete player in this draft by far. It's not even close. The dude plays 3 different positions in one. He plays receiver, tight end, and offensive lineman or offensive tackle. He's excellent at all 3. Everybody's getting so infatuated about that backflip he did the other day, and I'm just like, if you watch the film, he's the most athletic guy on the film.
He was a monster in Georgia. There was times that he was the only offense in Georgia. He's a monster.
Yeah. I think Brock Bowers going here would be, I think I'd probably, if I was in the AFC West, if I was the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Broncos, I'd be like, damn, we got to deal with him for forever. Because even when he hurt his ankle last year in college, and everybody thought it was going to be a season-ending injury.
Yeah, he was supposed to be out for
weeks later.
He was supposed to be out for the entirety of this season. Came back in 2 weeks. Like
he would have won the John Mackey Award again if it wasn't because of that. I was like, damn, the only person to stop him from winning it was his damn self. And I said, that's crazy. He would have been the first 3-time winner. But that's my pick. I'll let Soren and the rest of y'all go.
No, I mean, I absolutely agree with your pick of Brock Bowers. That is automatically the best. I mean, you look at the other offensive weapon right now, Malik Neighbors, and to me, just Brock Bowers checks so many more boxes. Again, he can play 3 different positions.
He can play the same thing that he does.
He can literally be Malik Neighbors.
Army knife type of guy, yes.
It can do everything Malik Neighbors can do, but better. And then also with your early 2nd-round pick, you can go get a number 1 wide receiver in guys like Jermaine Burton. I mean, this is a very deep wide receiver class. And pairing, Brock Bowers next to Jermaine Burton, that's just an athletic offensive weapon room. So,
I was telling these guys that
didn't make sense, but I brain farted.
I'm a big Jermaine Burton fan out of Alabama. I'm the only one that'll stand on the pedestal and say he's the number 2 receiver in this class. But now the reports this week have all came out and said if it wasn't for some off-field stuff, Jermaine Burton would be probably better than those guys outside of Marvin Harrison. I'm like, okay, I guess. But I would totally be a Chargers fan after. I would enter the transfer portal.
I mean, you picked them for the Super Bowl a couple of times. So
yes, and I'd enter the transfer portal quick. I'm no longer a Jaguars fan. I'm a Chargers fan now. If that happens,
I don't blame you. No, I mean I know there's also been reports of like Malik Neighbors has already started looking for houses in Los Angeles. I don't care. All that is rumors, spectacles, whatever. If you're telling me Brock Bowers is still on the board at 5, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I am sprinting to that podium.
I got it. Yeah, I'm not even waiting. Let me just.
I am also okay with this because that still means that Kyle Pitts out of Florida was the highest drafted tight end in NFL history. So I'm okay with this. That is just a little nugget for me as a Florida fan, but that is besides the point.
Gotcha. Okay, Mills. I'm sorry. Did you get your off with the Chargers here?
Sora just said the magic word, Kyle Pitts. And that's why I don't like drafting tight ends that high, because it's real iffy. So I'm making a safe pick. I'm protecting my quarterback. I'll take Joe Alt right there. You can never go wrong with picking in the trenches. Get a big body, protect Herbert. They went and got some more running backs, so they're going to need to build that line some more. I'm taking Alt there. If not Alt, I'm trading the pick and re-it up later.
It could be. Don, what was your pick?
Interesting.
Don, who did you had, Don?
Well, if you're going off big board, I agree with you guys. Brock Bowers, he's the better selection, but they're looking at, we lost our 2 best wide receivers. They're tunnel vision on wide receivers. That's why I think they take Malik Neighbors.
I could see it going either way. I wouldn't lose my mind on that. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't even thought about offensive line at all for Chargers. I'm like, it's either Bowers or whichever the best wide receiver is left on the board. So that would be interesting if they went O line.
And you also had to think about Harbaugh's what's his philosophy too. So I think. Let me go on. Move on. Number 6, the New York Football Giants. Yes, I am. Oh God, man, we have
trash.
We have got to get this quarterback thing right. Oh my goodness. I don't want to make this about the New York Giants or anything like that. I don't want to be Drake May. Yeah, I mean, it's Drake May. I just, I heard some other reports. He was looking for houses in northern New Jersey and in the New York City area. Not Drake May. What's the other guy we just said? His what's his name? The guy just came from Michigan.
Neighbors?
No,
Michigan. JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, sorry. McCarthy. And I was like, no. No.
You won't ever have to worry about a miss like. You won't ever have to worry about him messing up a handoff to the running back. Devin Singletary. He's the best quarterback of that.
Saquon Barkley was going to wish he would have came back now. Dang, JJ McCarthy hand off better than anybody in the league.
Appreciate that, bro.
I don't.
DA, go ahead, because
I don't know if quarterback is going to be the move there. You guys have a lot of needs, and I think the Giants probably be smart enough to get
we need offensive line. Yeah, offensive line.
Because I think you're going to have a good defense, right? I think you're going to have a representative defense. Not great, but good. That can get you in and out of some games. You've replaced the running back. Your offensive line is getting better, we'll say. So going all in on QB may not be your best move. It may be a weapon, and then in the next round, get your quarterback. So that's what I think will happen because they still got money that they owe the guy that you have. Right, that money they're gonna have to pay him, or they're just gonna eat it. Giants don't eat money. They don't eat money. They just don't.
I hear
they're gonna make him play his money out, and that'll be that. And he's not horrible. You just have to give him some easier reads. I thought he was great coming out of college at Duke, but I was wrong. I thought he would be great coming out of college at Duke, but hey, I was wrong.
I'm still a believer of Daniel Jones. I honestly am. I'm not. I understand. Everybody probably hates the guy, and
Dante, I don't hate him. So let me just back. I'm gonna let you get back in. I don't hate him. I understand he's had like a couple. Stop it, Mike. Stop, Mills. Stop. I understand he's had a couple of coaching changes, right? And that's never fair to the quarterback when you got to learn offense at the offense, and you have some regime changes. I get that, I understand that, but it just seems like he got hurt, and it's like, what is it? And DA been telling me and my brother D Dubs, who'll be on here shortly. He said, "Man, y'all got to believe in Daniel Jones," and I was like, "Okay." After a while, man. So go ahead, Dante.
So here's how I think about it, right?
Go ahead.
And as a quarterback guy, coaching quarterbacks, all that stuff, right? The dude can make some of the best throws in the NFL. Like, he makes his throw backside outside the numbers. Comeback route is like the hardest pass to make as a quarterback, and he's the only one that I can see execute that time after time after time. And then usually what happens? There's a drop, or either the receiver that he was throwing to practice that week is not playing in the game. It's been so many changes for him, and then Saquon hasn't been the healthiest either. He had pretty much one and a half good seasons with Daniel Jones. The coaching change is obviously an issue, but this is what Giants fans will always tell me, and then I shut them down with this every single time. They eat their own tongue. They're like, "Well, Tommy Cutlets came in and did a good job. Tyrod Taylor," and I'm like, hold up, didn't Josh Dobbs have like 2 or 3 good weeks with Minnesota when he first got there? And the same collapse that happened with Tommy Cutlets and the rest of them happened with him too. It's a lot harder to defend against somebody that's learning the system, that's throwing the guys that he's never thrown to and just making the impossible happen. Daniel Jones is used to these same guys, or trying to get used to these same guys when they're healthy every single week. They know how he plays. When the philosophy looks different with a quarterback, it's a lot harder to defend that versus going in and having tape of thousands of throws that Daniel Jones has had. So that's how I look at it. I mean, I know, and some people's mind, that's a pinch of salt in an Olympic-sized pool of reasons why you don't like Daniel Jones. But that's just from my perspective, and I think that, like, people just need the reason why I think he got that contract is because they were scared for him to go to another team and do well. Because if he went to the Chargers, for example, under Jim Harbaugh, it would be crazy. I think it'd be different.
Just like how Saquon's going to go down to Philadelphia and just kill us twice this year. So I'm just telling you, I said it. Yep, he's going to get 200 yards a game. But that's a change that needed to be, I guess, done with Saquon. But I hear what you're saying with Daniel Jones. I absolutely hear what you're saying. And DA, I agree with you when you said we need more probably, interior help. And, like you said, maybe we can grab a quarterback in the second round. More than likely, we can grab a quarterback in the second round. So I hear you guys. Just pray for me, pray for me.
I think Brian Daboll is him and Joe Shane are gonna make the move to pick up Drake May here. And the biggest reason why is because of his age. He's young, he can be, and you have a quarterback that's under contract, that could possibly pass that knowledge off. And it's a lot easier to go into next season and say, Drake May's our guy who wants to take Daniel Jones' contract now. We got to ship him out. If he doesn't work out, you can always fall back and say, hey, we're already paying the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work out, and we're about to get fired, so the next regime can do what they need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Let us move on. At 7, the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans have the 7th pick. They let big man go. He's gone. They got the coach. What is his name?
Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel. He's gone. So they got some regime changes over there. Some changes over there.
Yeah, Brian Callahan.
Yep. Yeah,
coming over from the Bengals, offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Say Bo Callahan.
Oh man, this is another interesting one, man.
Yeah.
This is why this draft's gonna be so exciting because you just don't know.
So,
what'd you think, Thor?
Mine is, you already know what mine. I'm kind of deadlocked in on this pick. It's gonna be wrong, but if I were the Titans GM, this is what I would do. You still got DeAndre Hopkins on contract. You just brought Calvin Ridley. You can talk about all the overpay you want, whatever. They're still trying to figure it out with Treylon Burks. He's who knows?
It's Treylon Burks.
It's Treylon Burks. They thought he was AJ Brown. I know you called it. I didn't know you at the time, but I know you called it.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely they're going to rock out with Will Levis. Defense. You already got a number 1 cornerback in L'Jarius Sneed. You traded for him. You need protection, and I'm going to go with who I think is the best offensive lineman in this class, Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State. That to me, he to me is the best offensive lineman in this draft. Watching him at the Senior Bowl and then watching back tape of him, immovable force. It is like these top defensive linemen at the Senior Bowl could not get past him.
Okay.
So what did Brian Callahan not take care of because he wasn't a head coach out there with the Bengals? Offensive line.
What kept killing Joe Burrow?
and exactly. And you know, with that being said, he already knows what it's like to have a pretty talented quarterback. And what is he going to be able to teach Will Levis that everybody has been a little, depending on who you talk to, it's like the kid's weird. We get that personally. He had a lot of hype in college and he just had okay games. But one thing that everybody always says, including myself, when he's on fire with his arm talent, he's on fire and he can make plays happen, right?
Yes.
Brian Callahan's going to be able to come in there and have a different philosophy for that. And I agree with you. He's going to be an offensive lineman. I personally thought maybe Graham Barton was going to go there because you can switch him in a couple different places from Duke. But I don't think he's personally going to get chosen that high. And Talise Fuaga as a tackle, he's insane because he could play left and right side tackle if you need him to. So you're going to be able to switch him there.
Y'all think what y'all think about Alt being if he's not gone already? Being a fit there, because sorry, you talked about the other immovable force. What was his name again?
Who I had to go to the Titans? Talise Fuaga. Yeah, I think just with Joe Alt is the same way, and I don't mean to kick you while you're down. Joe Alt to me is how I thought the same thing about Evan Neal. It's too much hype, lazy at times. There were better picks. I get it. You can look at some of the numbers, but also if you just look, there was not a lot of eye-popping talent for Joe Alt to be like, yeah, this is the number one tackle. I saw that with Talise Fuaga.
Talise is bigger than Joe, right? Isn't he?
No, Joe Alt's 6'9", 321.
Yeah, there you go.
Talise is like 6'6".
He's
about the
Talise
same
is
weight.
6'6", yeah.
The thing about Talise too, watch him at the combine. I was like, is that a tight end down there?
He's very athletic.
Very fluid.
He's pretty slim, man. But
he's a beast.
He was one of the fastest in the drills too. The dude's quick. So
I'm a double back gentleman. I'm sorry. D-Dubs has joined us. As you can see, he's got all his giant gear on.
We missed Joe. We got to move on, man. We're not
looking like I'm sorry. I was trying to get
on to the next, brother. On to the next.
Nah, you can't do that. Hold on.
No, let him talk about the Giants and let me go next. Go ahead.
Really, real talk. Either we're gonna move back, or we're gonna draft hopefully not JJ McCarthy. I'm not really feeling it. I'm really not feeling him. I don't know why. I heard you guys on my way in. I was coming in, and I was like, Kev, good point. I don't know how come his draft stock rose so quickly and like overnight. And it's just, I don't know. I'm not really feeling
age and marketability. That's you can't tell me any different.
And again, also being on a national winning team, there's just all the right pieces. Everything.
Jim Harbaugh being your coach.
Yep.
Bro,
now, if he turns out like a Baker Mayfield, because the same thing happened. Was it Baker Mayfield? Same thing happened with him. He just came out of nowhere and draft stock went up.
Yeah, he also won the Heisman too, so that helped him there.
Heisman definitely helped Baker.
So I didn't think he was a pro quarterback.
And also being a Lincoln Riley prospect or being coached under Lincoln Riley helps.
Okay, turn yourself into an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, so I mean, I could see that with Baker more than I could definitely see it with JJ.
Yeah,
like the whole JJ thing. More. And Kev knows, like he's seen so many of my TikToks talking about JJ McCarthy. I've been slamming this kid.
Oh, okay, so I'm not alone.
No, you're not.
No, you are not
alone. For 2 years, like I'm like, I just don't get it. But you see the clips of him before the game with the Beats headphones on, with his damn toes and the blades of grass, and people are like, "Oh, this is awesome."
Somebody in the NFL needs to make sure that man always has at least a sock on. I am not trying to see the toes out.
See them feet no more.
Oh God,
them grippers away, man. I don't see that.
Let's move on. Falcons are picking at 8. Real quick, we're gonna move through some of the things because Everybody's like, huh? Do I need to play the
They got the quarterback. So what are they doing next, fellas?
Yeah,
they got the
they're
quarterback.
Their big three needs. They need an edge. They need a cornerback. They need a wide receiver.
Yeah, I think they're going Dallas Turner. Edge. Yeah, I think they're going Dallas Turner from Alabama here.
Yep.
Even I don't think he's the best edge in the class. It's either going to be him or Eliatu from UCLA. Correct. But Dallas Turner is probably the guy.
Yeah. I would say definitely Dallas Turner if Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors are gone. I think so far I have not had Malik Neighbors selected. I have not been writing down what I picked because I had Marvin Harrison. Yeah, Marvin Harrison went to. I had Marvin Harrison going to Atlanta. Brock Bowers going to Los Angeles. So yeah,
Arizona.
If Malik Neighbors is there at 8, I feel like they take Malik Neighbors. If there's no wide receiver, then an edge like Dallas Turner. Mm-hmm. Maybe O-line, but I feel like that's going to be one of the later rounds for them.
Gotcha. We're going to move on to the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears got another pick here in the first round at 9.
I think this is where another edge probably comes off the board here.
Yep.
Yeah.
But who do you want to go with? Here? Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of this move, but I agree. You got a warm weather kid coming over to a cold weather city. I'm not a big fan. I've never been a big fan of that, and you can see that transition happen all the time that it doesn't work out too well. But Latu has the tools to be the best edge rusher in the class. I'm not that high on him like most people are because I think it takes him a while to get started. But once he's going, he's got the juice the rest of the game. But yeah, I think you go here. I think you're going to go ahead and split it up. If not, then you might see them take a flyer on another receiver just to shore it up even more with Rome Odunze out of Washington. But I think Latu is the move here.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. We're going to move on to number 10, the New York Jets.
Offensive line. Anybody.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Yeah. I don't know. So who's the best offensive lineman left after you just took the best one off the clock?
Right.
I was gonna say just JC Latham from Alabama.
From Alabama.
You like him over all?
I like a bunch of them overall. I don't think Joe Alt is even a first or second round pick. I think he's a third round pick. From watching the film,
I don't Joe Alt does not pop out to me. I am not a fan of Joe Alt. I'm not a fan of Troy Fautanu. I'm not a fan of Joe Alt. Yeah,
wow. I don't see the hype on that kid whatsoever. I think he's going to get absolutely worked.
That's the Notre Dame guy, right?
Yes, he's going to get absolutely destroyed, and I'm going to feel bad for him.
Go ahead.
In my opinion,
go ahead.
I think this is why I think they get a little stuck. Jets, they need a tackle. For them to get what they need and run the ball and keep it safe, they need some guards. Their guards got worked. You can't run the ball at the middle, you can't win. They got a pretty good center, but they got no guards. And you can worry about protecting the quarterback, but you can kind of alleviate that if he hands the ball off. But the reality is that their guards suck. So that is what another part that killed them all year.
All of these guys are pretty the next couple top offensive linemen are pretty flexible. Like JC Latham can play guard.
Yeah.
Graham Barton can play all three.
Barton.
We've seen Tyler Guyton play right tackle and right guard. So
I would love kind of like pick your poison. Yeah, I would like kick him inside for a year or two, and when your left tackle gets long in the tooth, move him outside.
I think that's the new philosophy in college too. People are
Dante, don't be spoiling my pick for Philly now. Come on, man.
I'm not.
You already know how Jeff Stoutland is, brother.
Oh, I know.
The Minnesota Vikings pick at 11.
Do you want us to be real?
I was about to say, do you want us to go with what
we want you to be
or okay? Michael Penix Jr.
Penix Jr.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I like Penix Jr. I like him. I know he's been hurt, but I really liked him for.
But that's who we think should go there.
That's who I'm picking. That's my.
That's
I
who
like
we
him, but
think.
not at 11. I don't like him at 11. 11, I feel like it's kind of high.
But he's the best fit for them, and they would kill it for years if they got him. But I feel like they're gonna go Bo Nix.
I think Bo Nix as well.
I mean,
Yeah, I think Bo Nix is going.
Here's the thing though with Michael Penix and even Bo Nix. I don't think either of them are there at 23 though for the Vikings.
No. What
so
team,
so it's like you got to strike. You got to strike now, man.
Yep.
You can't wait in this draft.
No,
and say that somebody's going to be there later. All the top quarterbacks, all the 6 of them, have been getting talked up to be anywhere from 2nd to 20. So like,
I don't trust none of them clowns. I don't trust none of them that talk about. I think the best thing I heard all night is when you guys said quarterback should be taken in second, third round.
Yeah.
Nobody should be wasting their first round picks.
Absolutely.
It's crazy. It destroys teams, man.
Absolutely.
That's also going to cause like not more teams breaking the bank, like giving up future first round picks and second round picks as well for this one guy that you have now set up for failure because you have nothing to help. You have no more high valued picks to help him out. You're like, all right, we're a shit team. Welcome. We've given up everything to help you out.
Well, on the other side of that too, it's your franchise depends on where you pick quarterbacks 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So to think that these owners and GMs don't feel the pressure from the fans when these quarterbacks don't work out, but it's like the fans aren't the ones building the teams and managing the capital of the teams either. So it's a lot of like being a GM is the hardest job in the NFL. I don't care what nobody says. It's
agreed.
You do or die, but it comes from the top.
Pressure. There's a lot of pressure with the fan base. Everybody wants you to make this, and then if you don't make the right decision, you.
I mean, and Don can agree with me. How many years ago was it that everybody wanted Howie Roseman's head on a pike?
Yeah,
I mean, Howie Roseman been doing work.
And Howie Roseman said, "Fine, he pulled the Thanos and said, I'll do it myself."
Right. That man selling products on eBay to get some money in there. I don't know where this money be coming from.
So the Denver, where we at with Denver? Oh, Don, what's your thoughts on Denver, Don?
On Denver?
Yeah, next.
Yeah,
we need to get that music for next time, man. ESPN music.
I bet you I can find it real quick.
No, Denver. I have them personally. They have a few different needs.
Everything.
Quarterback, defensive line, tight end are probably a top 3. But this is where I have Drake May falling. I have him going to the Broncos.
And that would be the best spot for him, man.
Sean Payton can work with that.
Yeah.
So here's my philosophy around that too. Sean Payton does not want a quarterback that is already established himself. Did anybody really think that Russell Wilson project was going to work out?
Never.
No, none of us.
No,
please. No.
You got a quarterback that went to the Super Bowl twice and has had success and has been a winner. And it's, I mean, got a little bit
that bad though. Like what we saw was like, wow. No, we didn't.
But last year was better. Last year was way better than it was the first year. But I think it was like him and Russ came to agreement. Like, okay, before both of us get fired, we got to kind of work together here.
Yeah.
And then we can ship you out and let you do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
You get a Drake May, you get a 20-year-old, you get somebody that came from an old school coach and Mac Brown who's going to get told what to do instead of taking an opinion on what do you want to do. I don't know. I think Sean Payton is going to be able to mold that dude into, if he goes there, that's the only coach that I can believe in changing Drake May around into a superstar.
Now, full disclosure, I know him. So, he went to school. His brother went to school with my son. They played. So his father was the, back in the day, and I'm not from Charlotte, but his father was the white quarterback that played at West Charlotte back in the days when West Charlotte won like every year the whole state, football championship. So his father, Mark, made his 3 sports star, like literal star. So
and he got brothers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His brother won the championship in North Carolina basketball.
One plays baseball, one is like a golf.
They do it all.
Yeah, they do.
Their family's deep with that, man. For sure.
No, listen. So he's a coachable kid. I say that to say that whatever dumb shit Peyton tells him to do, he's going to do it. So he's going to.
let's
I like him at 12.
let's move on to the let's move on to Antonio Pierce's Las Vegas Raiders.
I think I found the jingle. Can y'all hear this?
Yeah. No, I can't hear it.
No,
I can't hear it. All right.
I will also say, just for personal reference, for Denver, this is where I have Rome Odunze, because so far he has fallen for me.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm gonna have, because I mean, besides Cortland Sutton, who is
they don't have another.
Right.
If I mean, again, they need everything. This is not a team that they're gonna turn around with this draft alone.
Right.
No.
So I don't know. I feel like especially after losing Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick hasn't played for 2 years. You don't know what you have in Marvin Mims yet.
Yeah.
True. Okay.
I think this is a pick to where, as long as they go offense, they'll be fine.
Because they're gonna be able to pick up their. That'll be the strongest quarterback room.
You are quiet, Dante.
Yeah.
I'm quiet.
Yeah, you dipped a little bit.
What about? Is that better?
No, you're good. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I think here, going anything other than quarterback is going to be great for them. I'm a big fan of Edgerrin Cooper from Texas A&M.
Stop it.
I think he would make their defense crazy. I think it'd be nasty work for years. But yeah, I agree with you. Don't pick quarterback. They could get Spencer Rattler in the second round, and then they'll have Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, and him, and it would be crazy.
Oh, for Las Vegas. Okay, I thought we were still on. I thought we were still on Denver for whatever reason.
No, for Denver.
My bad.
So Chandler's still in Denver, so they got a quarterback.
Yeah. Let's move on to the Saints, the New Orleans Saints. They pick at 14.
JC Latham.
Might need some. I think they need some interior stuff myself.
They need help on both sides of the line, either O line or D line.
Yep.
Man, this screams Byron Murphy right here.
That's what I was thinking.
Texas. He's good.
Byron Murphy, the second
real good
defensive tackle.
Yeah, that's a big boy, and he get off the line good. I like him.
Yeah, he's the best defensive tackle in this draft to me. I was on the Jerzon Newton train from Illinois for a while.
I'm still on the Jerzon Newton train.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like that's like the coach side of you coming in. It's like pick your poison. You know what I'm saying?
It's 1A, 1B. You can't go wrong with either.
Do you like an athletic guy that has a bunch of tools, or do you like the strong guy that has real fast legs? Like you're talking about a true nose tackle versus a guy that can play nose tackle and 3-tech and 5-tech and all that stuff and take care of the defensive line for you. I'm more so like, give me the old school guy that's got fast feet and is real strong up the middle and can plug up a gap. Like, do your job. It might not be the sexiest thing, but help us stop the run. Because then you got, you know what I'm saying, you got a beast in the linebacker. You got a beast at the edge out there. Like, they're going to be able to do more work with you just doing your job, which is what the Eagles have been trying to do, cough, for a long time, and they can't tackle.
Listen. It was better when we had Chauncey. He's back now. It is what it is.
It doesn't help when you can't tackle. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know who's good at tackling? Edgerrin Cooper. Enough said.
Damn.
Indianapolis Colts, they pick at 15.
Nate Wiggins from Clemson.
No. Agreed.
Nate Wiggins, quarterback from Clemson.
Yeah.
So how I was talking about Jerzon Newton and Byron Murphy being 1A, 1B for defensive tackles. That's how it is for me with corner. I'm going to give the slight edge to Nate Wiggins. I don't give a damn about him being 185 soaking wet. Dude is athletic. Dude's got the speed to make up for it. Dude can tackle. I don't. I look at Devontae Smith. I know it's two different positions, but still, it's
right.
I do not care that he's only 185. He makes up for it in every way, shape, and form that you need in a corner.
I'm a Florida State guy, and let me tell you,
this dude,
Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman couldn't do jack diddly squat against Nate Wiggins. He had them completely shut down.
Yes,
and he was on them playing physical too. So I was like, all that size stuff at the next level don't really matter to me. If you can play, you can play, and he's an absolute dog. Now, like I said, Devontae Smith. Don't get hurt that often. Won the Heisman. Everybody talked about his size, and he just got, a number one wide receiver contract with the Eagles, and he's still a number two. It's Torrey Holt 2.0 out there with the Eagles.
Wow, yeah.
That's definitely the greatest 30 for 30 ever.
The Seattle Seahawks pick at 16.
They need edge help too. This is gonna be an edge heavy draft right here.
Mm-hmm.
Pick your poison here.
Yeah, this is where I have latte.
Yeah.
Although this is also where, and I wouldn't be surprised because it's a very Seattle thing to do. Although with a new regime, it could be different. But we've seen them take linebacker very early. I could see Edgerrin Cooper go here early because that just seems to be what they do. They take these linebackers quite early.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna tell you one edge that has.
But I'm going with edge here. I'm going with Latu.
I think Jared Verse is gonna be right here for him.
That's what I was thinking.
And he's gonna go across the country and he's gonna be an absolute menace for the Seahawks for a long time.
Don, what you got with them? I'm sorry, Dante.
No. I have him. This is where it's plug and play with the remaining tackles. I had him taking care of the offensive line.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what a lot of draft experts, quote unquote experts, have offensive linemen going.
Yep.
I've seen Sora's boy Newton going here.
Jazon Newton, yeah.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
They're pretty young on the defensive line, though. I don't know if they would do that per se.
I don't think the D line's that bad, but
I don't either. Okay. But hey, it could happen. Anything could happen.
I don't know contracts either, so they may have some guys that their contracts are expiring this year, and that's not going to be there. But yeah.
I just know a lot of their linebackers are either on like 1 year or still brand new. So again, I think edge like Latu, but linebacker would not surprise me as well.
Okay. We move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Dante, I'm gonna get this to you.
17.
What y'all thinking here? 17, dog.
I know what I would go if he's here.
I'm gonna lose my mind when this happens.
I know.
There's only one choice that's gonna be down in Jacksonville, and everybody's gonna go crazy, and I'm not. Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo is going to be a Jacksonville Jaguar. I just feel it coming. That's the buzz that's coming out of there. And I like the kid. I do. But I don't think he's a first rounder. Like, if it was my choice, Terran Arnold from Alabama, him and Nate Wiggins.
That's who I picked.
1B. Like, it's absolutely crazy. I've seen Kool-Aid McKinstry at this pick from a lot of people. I don't like Kool-Aid at all. Like, I mean, I like Kool-Aid, but not Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yeah, he got some issues, man.
The name itself, Kool-Aid, man. You got.
Stop! I already have to hear enough about the names with fucking Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I'm not.
Man, ESPN paraded that guy out, Kool-Aid, man. I'm like, man, they had him sipping Kool-Aid with this chick.
It was the same thing with the Coldest Crawford.
I'm like, man,
the Coldest Crawford from when he was at Nebraska.
Yeah.
Who was naming these children?
Bro.
Hey, man.
I know, man. Kool-Aid.
Hey, don't let me. I'm not going to start, Kev. Go ahead. Kool-Aid.
No, I need you to.
I can tell you a couple, but yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, Quinyon Mitchell right here for the Jags.
Okay.
That I feel like would happen, and we're all going to lose our minds. If Terry and Arnold's still here, though, I will run up.
I'm
to
walking
the
out the room, and
I will run up to the podium with that pick for Trent Baalke.
I'm gonna do like one of those moves. What did they say?
He's got a chance to go to Philly, so I appreciate it.
Hey, what did they say? Take a lap. I'm jumping in the car.
Go take a lap.
And
take a lap, Dante. Dante gonna go swimming in the water bottle again. It's gonna be crazy.
The Cincinnati Bengals, they pick at 18.
Don, what's their team needs?
Bengals, defensive interior, cornerback, and tight end.
So the Bengals were in an they were this low for losing Joe Burrow.
Yes.
And the Bengals are kind of in an interesting situation where they don't really need a draft for need. They're drafting for talent. And after losing DJ Reader, they're going to replace him with Jazon Newton out of Illinois.
Okay.
Yes, that's a great pick.
Now your boy gets the job, sir. He's in there now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to buy a jersey. I thought my first
there.
Bengals jersey was going to be an Evan McPherson. Nope, Jazon Newton now.
Yeah, Jazarian Newton, it makes a lot of sense. I don't know why they got rid of DJ Reader. Like, if you look at his production over the last 3 years, there should be no reason why he wasn't the first one getting an extension with the Bengals. I don't know why they didn't keep him. But, yeah, I mean, if you want the next best guy, if this is what your plan is, then maybe they were smart by doing that.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a money thing, but yeah.
Well, you know, this franchise has a knack for being cheap sometimes, so.
They ain't even got the best. They got them poverty facilities.
It's
ain't even green that they practice on.
The Bengals have a history going back to even Asias's day when he was there. He was saying how cheap the ownership was. So let's move on to 19. The LA Rams. The LA Rams
Don't need a receiver.
They need offensive line help really bad here.
I was about to say,
and especially at center. I think Jackson Powers Johnson is the way to go right here.
That's a good one.
I think they need an edge more.
Yeah, I was going to pick edge. This is where I have Braden Fisk going.
Oh, great.
Or Latu if he's there, but either way, an edge. Or even if all of them are gone, I would not bat an eyelash for Chop Robinson. I think he's the best edge.
Oh yeah. I don't know if y'all was able to watch Chop Robinson on film.
For
he's
the
best edge
Rams
rusher in this class.
I'm glad we don't. If Chop Robinson goes to the Rams, I'm glad we don't have to play the Rams this year.
You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Myles Garrett.
Ooh, yeah.
But faster. Just think about if Myles Garrett was a little bit faster.
So Garrett
a little bit faster. He's already right.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus,
he's already a beast.
He's a monster, man.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen anybody dunk from the 3-point line. That shit's crazy.
Yeah,
I know this is a football show, but still, that scares me.
I mean, you talk about freaking nature. And last year was just crazy. But go ahead, Kel, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say one of the games that stood out for me when with Garrett, and I know we're talking about draft stuff, is when they played DA's team, when they played the Niners, when the Niners went to go to Cleveland that game, and he was all over the place. I mean, every game he's pretty much everywhere, but that game in particular, man. So
the reality is that's really good. That was a really good defense.
I hate when people compare him to TJ Watt. It drives me crazy. TJ Watt plays outside linebacker, and Myles Garrett plays defensive end. You're never going to see Myles Garrett dropping coverage.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't see the comparison, but yeah.
I always debunk that with people that think they know football. I'm like, come on, man, stop comparing the two. Because they're like, well, I don't get why Myles Garrett was over TJ Watt because he plays outside linebacker.
And he's a killer.
Yeah. Oh, he's a murderer.
Yeah, legit killer.
Yeah.
You know.
So
but Chop is bad, man. So.
Yes.
True. Let me move on here. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they pick at number 20.
They don't have quarterback problems anymore. So
they do not.
Yeah, let's ride. Let's ride.
I think Roma Dunze is coming off the board right here.
Ooh.
I had a sneaking suspicion. That might not be popular,
I would say I agree with the
crazy.
wide receiver. If Roma Dunze is there, yes. If not, then you follow it up with Brian Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always forget that he's getting overhyped too, but yeah.
Yeah. Because the only other, I think their top two needs are either O-lineman or O-lineman and wide receiver. So it's at that point, you kind of have to see, who's on the board. Right now, the best remaining O-lineman that I have is Alamuya out of Penn State. Or not the best remainer, but like on the depth chart.
Alu Fashano's been dropping.
Fashanu and also Brian Thomas Jr. Both of them, I think, can potentially drop out of the first round.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to the Miami Dolphins. They lost one of the best, I think, one of the better defensive guys.
I think they lost the best DT almost best DT in the league.
I was not going to say the best, but
he's a monster. That guy from Clemson.
I'm not saying
Christian Wilkins.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I've seen him take over games by his damn self this last year.
Yes.
So I know Dante knows. So I live in South Florida currently, and a lot of the Miami Dolphin fans, they were absolutely not happy about that. And I said, well, hey, looks like y'all got to do your homework in the draft. and get that work, man. So what do y'all think?
I think they might go corner here.
I was about to say, corner to
Terrian
replace Xavier Howard.
Yes.
Terrian Arnold.
Their season really went down the drain when their center also got injured. So you got to look at Jackson Power Johnson, Graham Barton.
Graham Barton. Yeah.
I think, though, they're going to go corner. So for me,
about
Quinyon Mitchell here.
I was going to say Wiggins.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I hope Wiggins is still here because that's a lot. I'm going to lose my mind if he goes to Philly. They're going to be happy tears of joy.
Yeah. The
Well,
reason why I say Terrian...
Go ahead, Dustin. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, the reason why I was saying Terrian Arnold is him and Jalen Ramsey on the same team. It would be insane.
Right.
Well, Terrian Arnold is physical, but he's also got perfect size for a cornerback.
Yep.
And you're going to have two big-ass corners defending that's going to be able to switch and play. They can both play inside, too. And that's, you don't see it a bunch out of Terrian, but when he's playing in the nickel, it's just as good as him playing outside.
Especially when you've got, and it is good that both of them can play on the inside, especially when you've got, for example, Dallas. They will usually have, CeeDee Lamb, their number one wide receiver, in the slot. So having your best corner being able to play on the inside is also a virtue that is very helpful.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I don't know. If Terrian Arnold is here for Miami, that would be excellent, especially because both him and Ramsey are going to be able to play man coverage very well. To me, Xavier Howard was almost Xavier Howard to me is kind of like the Trevon Diggs, somewhat like a safety. They will either play the ball and either get an interception or they're about to give up 50 yards. One of the two is about to happen.
Mm-hmm. Not take so many risks.
So that's kind of also how I viewed Xavier Howard. So getting Terrian Arnold would definitely be a huge help to replace.
I don't get why Xavier Howard gets the hype that he has.
The 10 interceptions in that one season.
I get that, but then
the 10, right?
Does that help?
Yeah.
Sorry,
but if them interceptions don't turn into points, then it didn't really matter.
I mean, that's also fair. Yeah.
That's what I want to see on the stat sheet, Don. Maybe you can create this for PFF because
how many interceptions
they don't do that great of a job
points?
sometimes. Yeah, how many interceptions turn into points? How many sacks turn into turnover on downs? I need to see all that stuff.
The stat man. Yeah. Hey, special shout out to Dan K. He's one part of the crew, the Sports Chaser. He's the hockey dude, man, but he's a Steelers fan, and he's screaming in the comments, "We need a freaking center," and that's not what he wants to say. He's being nice. Shout out to Dan K.
I see. He wants. For West Virginia.
Graham Barton or Jackson Power Johnson would be pretty good for Pittsburgh, or the guy from
West Virginia.
Almost said West Vegas, and I have no idea why. Yeah, Western Virginia. I don't know why. I blame the Fallout show in New Vegas.
There you go.
Why.
There you go.
It's all good.
So what we doing? So your team is next, man.
Oh man,
the Eagles.
You already know what the pick it is. We don't even need to say. Go ahead and say it. You know what it is.
Sorry, the floor is yours, bro. Get it.
And then tell them what they're gonna do with the pick once they get it.
So. I want to say Cooper DeJean so badly.
Yes, sir.
I'll say it for you.
It so badly.
If you don't want
to, here's the unfortunate part is how he also, and again, this could all be smokescreen. And just even knowing the whole past of Eagles drafting history, they usually get needs in free agency and then draft best talent available in the draft. So you could look at the likes of an offensive lineman like a Tyler Guyton who can move to your right guard, and then when Lane Johnson retires, move back to right tackle, which was his immediate position. That's something they could potentially do. Me, though, screw that. Fuck it. I'm picking Cooper DeJean. Get James Bradbury out of here.
Thank you.
And stop with the safety talk. He played 5% of the snaps with safety.
Yeah, the Eagles fans have been talking about this.
Welcome to the backfield, Cooper DeJean.
Where? Y'all are going to set this dude up for failure, putting him at safety.
Yeah,
no, Vic Fangio. No, you know better.
He's going to play DB.
Yo, Bradbury still there?
If they get Cooper there.
Let me tell you something, man. Bradbury.
I knew that was going to trigger you, D-Dubs. Go ahead.
Trash, man. We had him play like trash, man. He went to Philly. I think he had one good season with Philly, I think.
Yep.
And then last year, and then last year he totally bottomed out. And
I'm hoping
James Bradbury
it wasn't.
Yes.
No, I was gonna say James Bradbury was your guy's AJ Boye for me.
Yes,
I
straight
put
up.
up a poll not that long ago. I said who was a better duo, Darius Slay and James Bradbury, or was it Jalen Ramsey and AJ Boye? Because they had it was almost the same exact season. Both of them were all pros. And then after that, AJ Boye went to the Texans and was trash. James Bradbury he's been trash ever since that season.
Ever since. I was like, what is this? This is not the product that we thought we was getting.
And it's also like, a part of me is just really hoping now that, like, as stupid as this is to say, now that, like, somebody will actually get their shit together in Chauncey and, like, actually check people. Call James Bradbury bald all fucking game if you have to. I don't care. Make him do his job better, please.
Horrible, dude. Horrible season.
Oh man. Shout out to Sword, man.
Oh, man. I don't care at this point, man. If Cooper DeJean is there, I am sprinting to that podium.
Yep. Kevin, hold on. While I got the Philadelphia Eagle, what happened, dog? What happened with the team? Do you have anything that you can say? Because only thing I can say is something's going on with the coaching, quarterback. He didn't get fired. The coach didn't get fired.
There's a reason why.
I can tell you the answer to that too.
There's a reason why in the press con. Yes, we can't tackle. There's a reason why in the press conference, Nick Sirianni made sure to claim, I'm giving up power to the coordinators, because as much as people wanted to blame Brian Johnson for the screen passes, we and the lack of the run game, and this is the kicker, we hired Nick Sirianni 3 years ago. For the 3 years in a row, we have been a bottom run team. That's not a coordinator problem, because everybody's Lord and Savior in Philly. I don't know why I can't remember his name. He's now with the
Lord and Savior.
He's now with the Colts, and I don't know. He's the head coach for the Colts.
Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah,
Gannon.
Cardinals. He's with the Cardinals. Shane Steichen. Yeah, everybody loved Shane Steichen, but we were still a bottom run team. So that's a Nick Sirianni problem. We can't tackle. That's a Nick Sirianni problem. So, yes, now he's giving up, powers to the coordinators. We didn't use a lot of pre-snap motion. Guess what Kellen Moore's really good at? We try to copy a lot of the Vic Fangio scheme. We have the guy himself now. We don't need to make a copy. You have the actual blueprints there.
You got right.
So,
the guts. Yep.
Yes, it absolutely was a Nick Sirianni problem. And unfortunately, the other coordinators had to go. Yes, I'm not saying they were fully clear of blame. Yes, there was blame for every single coach there.
Right.
But there's a reason why Nick Sirianni has stated multiple times that he is giving up powers.
Let me say one thing about the Eagles, man. Like, this is one of the worst fan bases I've ever seen. Like, outside of Don and Sora, and even Don is rooting more for the Ravens nowadays. As you can tell by the jersey in the background. Shout out to my boy Kyle Hamilton.
Don literally said if we drafted Bijan Robinson last year, he was not going to watch any more Eagle games. He was going to be a Ravens fan only.
But let me tell you, man, these dudes love Nick Sirianni so much. They defended him the last 3 years. This coach is going to bring new energy to the team. We love him. And as soon as the coordinator bullcrap happened last year, people are like, we hate Nick Sirianni. He should have been the first one to go. I'm like, how do you fire 2 first-year coordinators off the rip? That was some scumbag type stuff that happened, bro. Like, I couldn't get down with that.
Bus, Dante. Somebody had to go under the bus, and it was those two.
It should have been Nick Sirianni. He should have been taking the blame himself, or at least fighting for those 2 guys. He should have been fighting for those 2 guys and be like, I'm going to give the reins to them and let them actually do their job instead of me. That's what should have happened, but 2 guys lost their jobs.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get fired after this.
I thought so too. I was ready for it. I was telling other people, prepare for it. It's going to happen.
I thought he was gone. And the fact that they still kept him is like, wow.
So sorry, when the dust settled, you was looking around. You was like, "Wait a minute, he's still here."
He's still here. Yes.
Still
yes.
here.
I was just right. I was like, I already know Brian Johnson's going to be gone, and everybody's like, "You're only defending him because he was the offensive coordinator for Florida in 2020." No, I don't care. He could have coached at Yale. I don't care. It was not his fault.
Check it out, sorry. You got two head coaches that you want going immediately: Nick Sirianni and your boy Billy Napier. They got to go,
dude.
He's in
I'm so
purgatory
ready
right
for
now.
a change, man.
Let's
And
move
it's like-
on. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's also like the same thing of when people were like, I want Howie Roseman gone. He has too much power. He's actually giving like more of his draft stuff to, the coaches and all that stuff. And then look at what's happened. So it's the step in the right direction of being like, I've discovered the blame. It's me. I'm part of the problem. Here's how I'm going to fix it. Here's what we're going to do. We've hired this guy. Because before it used to be like, oh, Jonathan Gannon, that's my buddy. Shane Steichen, that's my buddy. I've been on this team with him, this team.
Right.
That same with Jonathan Gannon. So it's like, it's guys out of the box. So not more of like buddy stuff. It's
Right.
more of this is the best hire for this reason and this reason.
Yeah, let me tell you something though. You know why coaches don't come out and give themselves all the blame? Here's a reason why we've never heard this. We never hear this, and when we have heard it, those guys usually get fired the next year because the ship doesn't get turned around the way that they think it's going to get turned around. So when you throw all your eggs in the basket in a press conference and say it was my fault, guys, it was me. Like I'm gonna turn things around, and then you have a shitty season the next year.
Yeah,
Bye. See ya. You set up the expectation. They don't want to shoot themselves in the foot.
Absolutely.
It's not me, it's you.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what you tell your old girl. Yeah.
It's not me, it's you, dog.
It wasn't my fault. Hey, girl, listen.
Oh man.
Have you ever heard your boss say that? It was not you. It was me.
Yeah.
I've heard that 0 times since I've been in the
I
workforce.
wish.
The amount of times that I've had to pull up, the amount of times that I've almost been like, let's go check the footage real quick, boss. All right.
That should be better at this.
Yeah.
Vikings. The Vikings pick at 23 via Cleveland through Houston.
Man, what's the team needs here? I know they got a bunch of
D-line,
they hit quarterback.
O-line. Yeah.
Got quarterback. So we said
They need a guard. They need a cornerback.
They need D-line help and pretty much O-line help.
I think they go corner here.
I think they go edge and get Chop Robinson. At least for me, that's who's available right now.
But you're going to linebacker to DN.
Graham Barton here just makes too much sense to me.
That is also fair.
Yeah.
I think 11, secure your quarterback of the future. 23, get help on either side of the line, whether it be offensive line or defensive line. And I think at that point, you've won round one, unless you're drafting like, I don't know, Darian Robinson at 23.
Well,
everything but wide receiver from Minnesota. That's absolutely correct.
That is correct. If they go wide receiver in the first round, I'm losing my mind.
The Vikings requested a trade to the Bengals.
I know, right?
On draft night. Oh my god.
They were talking that crap. No one's that's not
24, the Dallas Cowboys. Let's see what's their needs here.
Offensive tackle, wide receiver, linebacker.
Defensive line. You replace Mozzie Smith right away. The dude's trash.
Defensive line, offensive line, running back. They got 3 of them, but do they have a running back?
I like
a linebacker though. Have to be middle linebacker. They don't need outside. They need inside.
Well, homeboy retired, right? What's the
Van Der Esch, yes.
Van Der Esch.
Medically retired.
How you wear a neck pad your whole career and had neck issues?
Trent Williams threw into someone and broke your neck.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I was about to say, which O-lineman basically stepped on his neck? I forget.
It's a disgrace to everybody that wore a neck pad, including Mike Allstott.
The 50s are crying out in pain.
Peyton Wilson right here. With this
Peyton Wilson.
Sorry.
They love him, and they love him. I mean, Jerry Jones has been talking about him. Their whole team, all the fans have been talking about Peyton Wilson.
Here's the thing. Jerry Jones has been talking about him, but does he remember talking about him?
Hey, sorry, Don and Sword, but they're going to get another white dude that's going to get injured a lot. Like,
As long as he doesn't wear the neck collar, bro. I didn't think Van Der Esch was able to pull off the neck collar. I don't think Peyton Wilson's going to look up.
Nah.
This is just revenge for drafting Dallas Goedert. They're going to get the Dallas Goedert lookalike in Peyton Wilson.
Man.
Yep, it's coming. I already see it. I hate it for him, but he ain't had the best history with injuries.
I think it's going to be O-line, especially after losing I don't know, Tyron Smith.
Why would they do that? When
their line is old and they've lost so many people.
And there's gonna be a scapegoat for Dak. Watch.
Did you guys already talk about this kid? What's this kid Tyler Guyton?
I love him.
Yeah.
We're big fans of him at Oklahoma.
Okay.
That is the other pick that I could see Philly doing. You're gonna be right guard, and then 2 years after Johnson's gone, we're gonna move you out to right tackle.
Right. I mean, Tyler Guyton would be a good pick here too if they wanted to go offensive line. To be honest,
I would cry.
I know you.
I'd be very upset. I'm not afraid to admit it. I would be very upset if they got Tyler Guyton.
They say very athletic and freakish. That's what they. That's the word on the street.
Dude's a monster.
Yeah,
and it's the best part. It's not all unlocked. It's still just raw talent. It has not been polished yet to what it could be.
If he stayed in one place, what could it look like? Because he's switching back and forth.
Yeah, I mean that's also true.
Yeah, he's 6'7", 328 pounds. Jeez,
gracious. And he don't look like it. He's another one of the Talise Fuaga that look like a tight end.
That's what they said. They said he looks like a giant tight end.
Him and Talise Fuaga were the best tackles at the Senior Bowl. Barely got beat, if at all.
Okay, but you get a crack out of this one. We'll talk about tight ends real quick. When we was at the Senior Bowl, y'all know who
Jared Wilder,
Jaheim Bell is, right?
Oh,
tight end for Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
On TV, he looks like a wide receiver. He looks small, like compared to a lot of other tight ends.
He's huge, right?
I was doing it. I was recording, and while Hayden was doing this interview, I turned around and I see him behind me, tall ass kid. I see Bell on the back of his thing. And I'm like, who the hell is tackling you? The dude is incredibly huge.
Nate
it looked like a
Wiggins,
brick wall wearing a t-shirt, bro. I was like, there's
Jesus.
no way I'm tackling this guy, man. Yeah, he's an incredibly huge human being.
Wow.
Muscular.
Yeah, I think I walked by him, and I'm only 5'7", so I'm looking up. Neck is at a full 90-degree angle. I'm like, hello?
Oh, it's crazy, man. You don't realize how big some of these dudes are. Like, even when I played in high school, I'm like, dang, I couldn't imagine tackling you in high school. There's no way, brother. How do you not breaking 100% of your tackles?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Dude,
ankle biting, brother. Ankle biting.
Yeah.
That's what I would have to do. I would just have to wrap onto the legs back. I'm not letting go.
Oh, you can't tackle like that no more.
Yeah, you about to see. I was about to go there, Kev, but I was like, no,
not the hip drop. I would just be like around their legs and be like, eventually.
Yeah, I would just dive for your legs.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come back on and talk about that one day.
I would have to treat it like Star Wars and the ad walkers and just tie the legs.
How the hell is a Nate Wiggins supposed to tackle a Derrick Henry hip
Thank
drop?
you, sir. Thank you.
So let me hold on, guys. So probably about 3 or 4 episodes ago. So we have the DA, him and our other guy, Ryan. Ryan's our NBA guy, but Ryan does everything, and he's very knowledgeable. And he was like, "What?" Ryan's probably watching. But Ryan was like, "Hey guys, you guys gotta evolve. You gotta evolve, man. You can't be savages." And so D-Dubs, I believe, said, "Hey, what about Derrick Henry, for crying out loud?
What am I supposed to do against that man coming at me downhill, and I got to tackle him?"
You got ankle bite him.
I'm gonna just stop midfield and give a quick prayer.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Joe Mixon and Josh Jacobs, they're pretty big dudes too, right?
Right.
There was a video that came out where Derrick Henry is working with them too, and he looks like 2 times the size of them dudes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so we got to already tackle Joe Mixon and Josh Jacobs, which is hard as hell. No wonder this dude runs for 1,500 yards a year and 20 touchdowns.
I remember he got the year he won the Heisman, and they won the championship. And Mark Ingram, who is now a pro, running back.
The one in it, yeah.
Yeah, he looked like his son. Like he brought his son to work today. I was like, wow.
Hey, do me a favor when y'all get some free time, and y'all gonna enjoy looking at this. I ain't gonna spoil any of this. Go look up what he did at Alabama in high school.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna keep it like that. I ain't even gonna tell you the numbers, but you're gonna be like,
oh yeah,
hold up, something ain't right,
dude. I could not imagine being a high schooler, right? You know, it's 3 tests in one day. Your girl just broke up with you. Now you got to hop on a bus and go play against Derrick Henry. Good luck.
Yeah, he was different, man.
I'm hanging up the cleats. I'm done.
Well, I thought Bo Scarborough was going to be different too, but shit happens. So,
he retired too, just recently.
Yeah, injury.
Let's move on to Green Bay Packers. They're picking at 25.
25. Shout out to my boy Cheese Empire in the chat. This is his team.
Yeah. And since Hayden's here, it's going to be Kool-Aid. No, I'm kidding.
Kool-Aid.
Nah.
Listen, that team is very. I don't think they really have many needs, so they could definitely take best player available.
I would say you just got to take the best O lineman available, and that's that's J.C. Latham for me.
Yeah, they could go. It's another go O line or edge or defensive line. I think Chris Braswell from Alabama could go here, the edge rusher out of there.
That's fair.
I think he's better than Dallas Turner in my opinion, but I think he'd be a good fit for them too.
Which I do want to say, and I don't even know if Dante remembers this. At the Senior Bowl, they had like the starting press conference, and it was Bo Nix and Chris Braswell. And Dante was like, "Why Chris Braswell up here?" Couple of months, I now know why Chris Braswell was up there.
yeah, monster.
Gotcha. Let's go to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's at 26. The Bucks.
Tampa Bay's another interesting team
I got
too.
you, Hayden.
Tampa Bay's very interesting. They have less than $1 million in cap space left.
Yeah.
And they're looking in at edge, linebacker, and offensive line.
Skip them. They got no money. They're really not getting anything.
I don't know. Maybe a Braden Fisk can sneak up there.
Braden's your guy, right? Florida State guy?
Yeah, maybe Braden Fisk. This is where the people might sneak in that you don't think should probably be up here.
Yeah, man, look, I don't want to.
Where if he wasn't a dumbass, Tavondre Sweat would be great, but he's a dumbass.
Exactly. Tavondre Sweat would be a perfect pick for the Buccaneers right here, but he wanted to get his DWI out there.
Well, then he's worth $1 million. He might be right.
This is where I feel like
D-Dubs, they looks like they have a police blotter on their show too.
Yeah, please. Hey, you need it. You got to know what's going on in the world, bro. These cats are crazy. But
this is where I feel like, because I have not taken either Barton or Jackson Power, this is where I would have Grant Barton go. Because O-line, Tampa's been trying to figure that out ever since the Super Bowl, man. Everybody's been getting injured. People have been retiring. People have been on the move.
I can understand that, Sora, but I think when they see what edge is still available, I think they're going to address that need first. I think they like Darius Robinson here.
He got invited out on the first day, and all of us are like, why not? But he's still lingering there, and he's going to get chosen, and he's going to be a disappointment because I don't see it.
Which is so upsetting because I really liked him at the Senior Bowl, but the Combine, I was like, this is a different dude.
Even on tape, he's a different dude, too.
I was like, this is not the dude that I saw at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tape is what, I don't know. Well,
some people are better practice players than they are game players.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, Buffalo Bills, they're up next. They're 28. I'm sorry, did I skip
Arizona?
Yeah,
Cardinals.
Cardinals 27 via Houston.
Cornerback, they're taking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Kool-Aid chemistry. I totally agree with you.
I agree.
Okay.
We don't really like them like that, but
they need corner. Man, I just realized their 1 and 2 are both guys that I hate. Kool-Aid and Marco Wilson from Florida. That's crazy. Man. Dana, why'd the Cardinals do this to me?
And sir, you the Florida guy, right?
Yes.
I just had to make sure.
That shoe throw still haunts me to this day.
You know who should have went here is Max Melton. He's a first-round talent.
Max Melton's really good.
Yeah, but he's not going to get. They're not going to. Well,
nah.
I don't know if he's going to slip in the first though.
Super nice kid too, man. Super. When we talked to him, super excited about life. I like guys like that.
Yeah.
He was super excited about everything. Well, he sat there and talked to us a little bit. You know, his brother Bo Melton plays with the Packers. So
nice.
And I think his dad was like really good at Rutgers as well back in the day. Like, so you know, he could have probably went somewhere else. I would love to talk to him and see like, what other offers did you get? Because there ain't no way that you're this damn good, and this is the place that you decided to play at. He was keeping up with Marvin Harrison Jr. Man, he didn't get cooked like most people was getting cooked.
He kept up with most of Ohio State's wide receiver room,
and everybody knows about Ohio State's wide receiver room. Man.
Yeah,
deadly.
Highest paid group in fucking college football. Oh, oops, sorry.
That's a house of the flying daggers out there on their wide receiving core.
Buffalo Bills are on next, 28.
You ready for the first? Well, not the first, but like the second bomb that's gonna get dropped. I don't think it's not obvious, but the Sora's gonna hate me.
I'll walk out this room right the fuck now.
Wide receiver,
Ricky Pearsall right here. For Florida. He's getting a lot of hype, man, and we understand why, but
Dante, they already took Osiris Torrance away from me. Please, I can't handle this.
I know, but just think about what Ricky would be able to do with Josh, man.
Real quick, thoughts on Josh?
Josh Allen?
Yes. DA, be quiet.
Don knows how I feel about this because I was the only one that said he might be a really good pro in the NFL. I said this years ago when he got drafted. I told Don this when he was getting slammed. And I feel like Joe Milton is the next Josh Allen if they decide to keep him at quarterback. And I think he should go there and learn under Josh Allen, by the way. But I was always a big fan of his. I mean, a lot of people say like I want a quarterback that wins. I think the dude was like 7-18 at Wyoming or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
People saw past that, man. Big kid, athletic, got a big arm. I don't think he's top 5 like most people think he is. I think he's around like 6, 7, or 8, somewhere right outside of that.
DA, you good now? You good? Yo, so DA has this.
We're going to disagree. I think he's regressing back to the mean, and he throws the ball to the other team far too much. I think it's a product of his coaching and people telling him on TV that he has a howitzer for an arm. That is the worst thing you want to have. Because a howitzer for an arm makes you believe that you can throw the ball in the windows that are not there. Brett Favre is the only guy, I hope, that gets to the Hall of Fame with as many interceptions as you have touchdowns. You're not supposed to throw the ball to the other team.
Well, this is going to be the first year that we're probably going to see that, man. Like, to be honest, people hate on Stephon Diggs. But
some people did.
If you watch statistically throughout the years, he's like the number 1 receiver in getting first downs for his quarterback.
Yes.
Which is unbelievably underrated for any. Like, I don't care that you can catch a 60-yard bomb down the field on first down, whatever. It's moving the needle. But when the times mattered, Stephon Diggs was like, he was on point. So let's see how Josh Allen's going to look without the scapegoat now. It's going to look a lot different.
Mm-hmm. I think I said with Tony Romo and Dez. Like, your Dez was a good wide receiver. Tony Romo won't be a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hero ball, man. And he needs to stop running so much. He's a big guy to take hits, man. But Cam Newton is bigger than him.
I've already said they've taken off 2 years of his career with him.
Oh, absolutely.
Running. Yeah, 100%.
And that's also the main thing is I agree with the hero ball, and that's what leads to the fumbles, the turnover, or the interceptions, all that stuff. He tries to do too much. Now,
and it definitely happens against those big guys in his class.
Yeah.
When he gets against Mahomes, or he gets, because they don't have. Kansas City has not had a great defense since the mid '60s. I'll give you. Maybe I'll go with Derek Thomas. God bless the devil.
I was going to say, DA. Dang.
Kansas City has not had a great defense in a very long time. Right? But you throw the ball to the other team often because you're trying to catch up with Mr. Mahomes. And you do the same thing with Cincinnati, with the Bengals. Come on, man. Play your game. Play your position. Stay in your role. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a hot take, man, and this is just what I evaluated. I don't even think I told Don and Sora this because we used to have this one guy. They used to argue with us about Josh Allen is elite. He's better than Justin Herbert, all this other stuff. But I was like, if you really think about the way that Justin Herbert plays the game and Josh Allen plays the game, who would you rather have on your team in crunch time to get you that first down that's not going to rely on his receivers as much as Josh Allen has relied on Stephon Diggs?
Oh, you talking to the wrong guy. I'm taking Justin Herbert. Yeah.
I'm taking Justin Herbert. They're almost the same exact quarterback, though, except Josh Allen.
Another one.
Justin Herbert can be athletic when he wants to be, but he's not going to take the big hits. Right. He has a really big arm, but he's able to throw it in tight windows. Hasn't had the best receivers in the world, still makes it work. So that's why I'm like, they're almost the same quarterback, but then we're arguing about who's better. But one had Stephon Diggs, the other one has had Keenan Allen every once in a while.
Yeah, but guys are always hurt. I mean,
with the Chargers, they bent down to pick a football up at the beginning of the game, and crap. Yeah, they would get scratched like right before the game. So,
I hope it turns around for Justin. I know we off topic. I hope it turns around for him as far as because I think he's a good quarterback. Matter of fact, I had Kevin, the crew know I had the Chargers going.
That was a fiasco.
A couple last year, 2 years ago.
Not to do that. Every year that you say that, I tell you not to do it. So.
Because the team I thought the team was good enough. They should have been. They got enough talent there, but the key positions was never there. They was never available.
Yeah, we got to move on to the next.
Yeah, well, you know what drives me.
Go ahead.
You know what drives me nuts about that whole thing, and I know we got to continue on to the rest, but just to throw a little nugget out there to show you how realistic I am with the Jaguars, right? Y'all remember the playoff game against them and the Chargers?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Trevor Lawrence threw 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
Almost threw 5 because Kyle
Van Noy dropped it.
Yes.
And Justin Herbert tried to put that team on his back, and they were dropping passes and doing all these screen passes in the second half of the game, which was slowing them down.
And Brandon Staley went away from the run game with Austin
Eckler. And the Jaguars did the opposite. They started going to the run game, and Travis Etienne didn't get the love that he deserved on Monday morning like Trevor Lawrence got. Now tell me, in America, I'm not trying to put the race thing in there or anything. I'm just saying, I'm saying this from the perspective of everybody thought this kid was going to be generational. So I'm going to put Lamar Jackson in the same situation. Even if the Ravens would have won that game and he would have thrown 4 interceptions, and let's say J.K. Dobbins was the reason why they won the game at the end, you know he would have got slammed. Oh, he's not as good as a quarterback as what we thought he was. He almost lost the team the game. Except Trevor Lawrence got the opposite love.
Yep.
He brought his team back from the dead, blah, 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 and just totally forgot that Travis Etienne was the one that caught a 30-yard pass and we kicked the field goal to 1.
Oh, because it's also Trevor. It's also, again, not the race thing, but he's the golden boy. He's Goldilocks.
People did not want to be wrong about him, man. I'm just saying. I did not want Trevor Lawrence on this team. I wanted Justin Fields.
There's a lot of hype, man. But if he didn't get there, you'd be Garner Minshew would be like you do. You like have a mustache shirt on and everything right now. If Trevor was there.
I got this
show.
Dante said, I got one.
Hey, I put up this graphic on Twitter the other day that compared Gardner Minshew to Trevor Lawrence, and it blew up. And then I made another graphic that compared Blake Bortles' first 3 years to Trevor Lawrence's first 3 years, and Blake Bortles had a better career his first 3 years.
Great Bortles.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like you could crush the numbers all you want, but he's really not been that good.
I'll also even say, like, so just going back to Buffalo, because they've kind of talked about how they're very reliant on having the offense run through James Cook and Dalton Kincaid. I would not be surprised if they went edge instead of receiver.
Yeah.
Because they have been saying all off season, the offense is going to run through James Cook. Offense is going to run through.
Yeah.
Well, the D coordinator comes back this year, right? He took a year off. Leslie Frazier. I
believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So I think they'll give Leslie what he wants because he's coming back.
I don't know. All I know is that
I don't believe their defense is ever elite, but it was good enough to win the AFC East. Definitely. The Jets have a better defense than them right now.
How many times have people picked the Bills to win the AFC?
I'm telling you, they are the Cowboys of the AFC.
And they have failed.
You gotta come back, and we have to probably talk about that because who said
That'll go on and on.
So you're absolutely right. They are the Dallas Cowboys of the AFC. You're right.
We
every year. We got a fraud report. You know how they got a rod report? We got a fraud report. So Josh Allen is definitely
it's crazy.
When Josh Allen sees overtime, he's like, "Oh shit!"
And what's funny, they literally changed the overtime rule for this man, and he still hasn't won an overtime game.
And it's never been his fault. It's never been his fault either. It's so crazy.
No, it hasn't, but it's still ridiculous.
It's so fault to the other team, man. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
We did have another football talk, but they threw the ball to the other team.
Detroit Lions. I'm Don, the stat man. What's the Lions' needs?
Lions, they are in need of safety, wide receiver, and an interior lineman. But I think they go best player available, and on my board, I did not have Chop Robinson gone yet, so I had them taking Chop Robinson.
Okay.
Problem for the NFC. Damn. Aiden Hutchinson?
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with you there, Don. But we haven't said. I mean, we've mentioned Roma Dunze's name,
right?
Just imagine him and
Amon-Ra,
Sun God, man.
Yeah.
Oh, if he was still there, sure. But I had Rome going early, so
he'd probably be gone.
Yeah.
I had Rome in the top 10, but yes.
Yeah, he might be going, but he might not. Brian Thomas Jr. is still floating out there at this time. I think somebody's going to reach for Troy Franklin, and that 10% drop rate scares the hell out of me. But I mean, he's a burner. There's a bunch of different ways they can go. I've been hearing Jordan Morgan's name being thrown around for the Lions as well, out of Arizona.
That's right.
So that's another place that they can go. But yeah, another edge rusher or wide receiver, that should definitely be the pickup for them.
Yep.
And we're going right back to Don on Baltimore.
Yeah.
What you got for Baltimore?
I can't help being a Baltimore fan, as at least my second team right now. I live right in between Philly and Baltimore, so I'm stuck with that. But Baltimore, they look like they could use a wide receiver. They need offensive line help. They need a cornerback. And we've had this name come up a few different times, but this is where I had Graham Barton going. I think they take him at tackle if he's still there.
Don, I thought you were about to say Ricky, and I was going to cry.
No.
I was ready for the tears, man.
I thought he was going to say Kool-Aid, but
no.
Graham Barton, that's the guy from Duke, right?
Yes. He's the one from Duke. Cool thing about Graham Barton is he's played as many snaps at each one of the offensive line position as the other. So, and then he's also been starting since his freshman year. So the dude can get down, and he's pretty healthy.
Have him on the line with Linderbaum. Oh man, my God!
Graham Barton's the best offensive lineman in the draft to me.
You say that, Don, with the Linderbaum thing.
Yeah,
Tyler Guyton would be interesting as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I think the guys closer to Lamar are better. It would be better, right? So your center guard, that's what's most important to him. Then he'll take a tackle here and there because he doesn't drop back enough to where anybody's going to come around the corner and get him. I haven't seen that happen to him much. He has a pretty good clock, at least it looks like internal clock, to step up in the pocket and run, so forth and so on. So, I think at least makes it easier, from my estimation. But they need other weapon help, as stated.
Yeah.
I've been seeing this name being thrown around because I don't think they're going to want another Zay Flowers type of wide receiver. Because I saw Lat McConkey's name being thrown around, but I was like, that didn't make too much sense to me.
Everything now.
But more so, here's a couple names that I've heard being thrown around. Keon Coleman from Florida State has been one of them.
Keon Coleman. They're saying him second round, but Garrett.
Yeah, Xavier Legette from South Carolina being thrown around in there.
Hey, that's the Legette is the new Debo. Mark my words.
I think he's gonna be better than Debo Samuel.
Yeah, well,
He's so underrated. I love
he's a
him.
bad man. He carries dudes up and down the field on his back.
But the most popular name that I've been seeing thrown up lately is Baltimore's been liking Jalen Polk a lot from Washington because they think Rome is going to be gone before he gets there.
Right.
But Jalen Polk's been being thrown around a lot as well. Another really good outside guy.
Right.
I think it's receiver for them or offensive line for sure.
Offensive line just hits me too hard, especially with Derrick Henry in the backfield. Now you want him to run, you gotta have a better line.
That's fair. Or you might feel okay with having another offensive lineman run the ball. We're okay. We're okay with it.
We're good. We're good. The 31st picks. I'm gonna give it to the DA. This is your Niners, man. What's the needs? What y'all got?
Best lineman, best offensive lineman. Our offensive lineman, especially the right side of them. So we're looking for guard and tackle on the right hand side of the line. We're good at center. Left side, we're pretty good. We just need that right side. So we'll probably get one in. We don't have a lot of money. I think we only have $16 million as a cap right now.
Right.
So we'll probably pick up a guard in free agency or a guard in the draft and get a right tackle in free agency. And then we're really not going to have any money left. So we just got to figure out what we can do with Ayuk. We let go Alaric Armstead, which hurt me because he's been there a long time. But we had to do that, right? And the guys we let go get picked up quick. We may get a D lineman, another D lineman in the draft. We let go of Curse too. He went to Philly, I think. Hargrave went to Philly, I believe. Big boy, he can play. But that's what we're gonna get, and we definitely need some DBL. That might be too expensive for us. So.
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially on the right side. So honestly, at this point, I don't think he's a first rounder, but if Troy Fautanu out of Washington is there, that's right guard, right tackle right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just gotta hope that he can get worked on, or Marius Mims, him too.
I also seen this thing being thrown around as well, and I'm not sure as a Niners fan you've seen this, but I'm not a big fan of him after watching the film again. But the Brandon Ayuk situation lingering.
I think I know where you're going.
Adonai Mitchell has been thrown around there with this whole controversy going on from Texas.
My question is, if he gets traded, is it like an AJ Brown kind of thing of on draft night?
Listen, I think we're going to do everything we can to keep Brandon Ayuk for a few reasons. I would almost keep him over Debo. That's
absolutely.
So, but
facts. I agree with that.
Factual.
Yes.
So he's a younger guy. He just started playing football late, and I just said it for the wear and tear on his body. He started playing football like for real as a junior in high school. So, like his body doesn't have a lot of muscle. He's a young guy, dude. Catches whatever's thrown to him. And the reality is he's quietly becoming Brock Purdy's, security blanket. Because everybody knows that they're going to cover the tight end. So he gets open when he's not supposed to get open. So I like Brian Ayuk. We just need someone on the other side to open up for him. But we'll get that second, third, fourth round in the draft. We'll get a fast kid from somewhere. Pretty good, so I like him.
Last but not least, at pick number 32, the world champions, Kansas City Chiefs. What's their needs? I'm gonna go to the stat man again. Don, what's the Chiefs' needs there?
Yeah, Kansas City offensive tackle is a big need. They are looking wide receiver. They still don't have a stellar core wide receiver. Defensive interior is also a need. I think they go wide receiver here. The name Dante mentioned earlier, Lad McConkey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a name, and then also Troy Franklin. I think if anybody's able to fix his drop issues, but he's a track star, man. Like he's a slim body guy, can play outside primarily, but he's a big burner downfield. It's just how many times is he gonna drop a pass from Patrick Mahomes and it reminds him of
Kadarius
Marquez
Toney.
Valdez-Scantling all over again. But I think you could fix it. I think you could fix his issues though, because he's so young. So I don't know. I think Troy Franklin might be the pick here, and I'm gonna be banging my head up against the desk because I know his potential. I think he has more potential than Xavier Worthy from Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. If not receiver, probably lineman, like a Jordan Morgan out of Arizona.
Yep.
Tyler Guyton, if he's still there, because again, you can kind of plug and play him at guard and right tackle.
Olu Fashanu from Penn State.
Yeah, if he's not already gone. I feel like this is a case, not best case. This is kind of a scenario where you pick either the best wide receiver that is available or the best offensive lineman, and which position do you have ranked higher? Because you've already seen Patrick Mahomes do it with the weapons that he's had. He's won it all 2 years in a row. With the
what's interesting, there's one corner that we haven't mentioned yet that's been flying.
Ennis Rakestraw?
Ennis Rakestraw from.
I was going to mention him because they did lose Snead. They did lose Snead.
Yeah.
Right.
But where do they value him? Do they value that?
Yeah. Do they value him over
the tackles and the wide receiver?
Wide receiver or a tackle? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this one might just be, honestly, if you've won back-to-back Super Bowls, you're going for your third. Just pick the best player available. Who cares at this point?
Yeah.
You don't need. You have needs, but you'll figure it out. You're the fucking Chiefs. It's
like you said. It's not like he had the best core wide receivers, like you said. When Tony dropping the ball, D-Dubs, we glad we got rid of him, right?
We got a ring though.
Let's hope so.
What else the Giants does, so you can't get too mad at them.
You're muted, sir.
Enough of them.
You're muted, D-Dubs. You're muted. $5, $10.
$10.
Go ahead.
No, I said, yeah, he won the Super Bowl. D, you right. He won the Super Bowl, but we didn't need him, man.
2 times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure, with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Look, man,
that punt return from the Super Bowl 2 years ago still hurts.
Yeah.
I was conflicted. I was like, I love this as the Florida fan, but damn it, you had to do it now.
Right.
If I was the Chiefs, honestly, you're sitting pretty good with the team that you got, and you can fill in talent anywhere else. This is just like an extra FU pick, basically.
Literally,
I'm with you.
I think that they're probably the most likely to trade out of the first round. But then also, if I was the Chiefs, my strategy would be, okay, the 5th pick in the second round is the Chargers. They're in my division. How can I screw them up?
Yes.
Okay, let's go get the best receiver on the clock.
What do they need? Oh, they like Jermaine Burton? Cool, he's ours now.
Or the corner, you know what I'm saying? Like it'd be just screw them up totally, and I'm here for it. I want to see them.
This is going to be a pick where nobody loves it except Chiefs fans. The NFL,
right?
Roger Goodell needs to just take away all their picks. Give the 31 other teams a fair chance, please.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think about it, man. They won a chip. And they don't even have. The team wasn't really that great. It wasn't
They don't have a number one. Yeah, they don't really even have a number one wide receiver. And the guy who was potentially going to be at Rashee Rice is currently
for real.
Exactly.
Rashee Rice is currently playing with Adam Sandler in The Longest Yard right now. So
Listen, man.
DA, I'm sorry that your team got knocked out. Okay, sir.
They beat us twice. One time, my man Jimmy G closed his eyes and threw the ball. On
Guys, you gotta forgive him. He's a little angry.
I'm with him on this one. I understand the pain, bro.
We gave him this last one. We had the game won.
Had the game won. Defense played great.
All 3 Super Bowls Mahomes has won. The Niners, 10-point advantage at halftime. Philly, 10-point advantage at halftime. The Niners again, 10-point advantage at halftime. What horse tranquilizer are they giving Patrick Mahomes, and can you share it, please?
I'm so done. I'm so done with that shit,
I'm so sick of this.
Listen, we run the ball the whole first half. Come out in the third quarter, throw the ball 9 straight times. 9.
I almost had a stroke, man.
No,
I'm like,
3 and outs we did in a row. I'm like, who the fuck is paying Shanahan? Not the fucking DeBartolos.
Yep.
And that's also the other painful thing watching the Niners of that. Y'all actually had a running back in Christian McCaffrey. We had Miles Sanders. We had to throw the ball.
Did y'all hear what Cam Newton said about Christian McCaffrey?
What?
He said that he would be a number one receiver on another team, and it's hard for me not to believe that man when he said that.
I believe that. Yeah.
He said he'd be a
I
number
think it's
one
a
receiver on the
blasphemous
team if
take,
he
but I
decided
believe
to-
it.
It's blasphemous, but then it's also you
It's
think about it,
blasphemous, but
brother.
it's factual.
It's
true.
some validity to it. Cam is
Yeah.
on something. Yes.
That was a bad man in college. Christian McCaffrey was a bad man, right? Him and dude from LSU. What's the guy's name that got the Fournette?
Leonard Fournette. Yeah.
Those two were.
I wanted Christian McCaffrey over Fournette, by the way. That didn't ever happen for us either.
The wildest thing that
I
happened
wanted
was
Christian
that
McCaffrey
those
as
were
well,
the
but he
first
was
two
not. He
guys.
was not falling where were we at 15, 16 at the time. He was not.
People were
falling
hating on Christian McCaffrey out of Stanford.
This is crazy.
I don't know why. That boy, he could
That boy.
I'm trying to figure out where do we get
that boy good.
where did we
But
get
the
to in a
reality was-
society where we don't have production back up the reasoning for why we need to choose somebody to be on our team? It's almost like it's a slap in the face when you like JJ McCarthy. If he goes second overall, it's a slap in the face of Jaden Daniels for winning the Heisman. It's a slap in the face of Sam Hartman being number 5 on the all-time list in yardage. It's like, then why did we play this long just for some dude to hand the ball off the whole
But
time?
we have to stop letting the tail
It's
wag
crazy.
the dog.
I think it's the Instagram effect.
That's what the sports chasers are about. Is not letting the tail wag the dog.
Explain it,
It's not at ESPN and these guys saying things that are non-qualified takes. Like, listen, it's you don't know what you're talking about. You need to stop. Sam Hartman at Wake Forest was a bad man with no receivers in the ACC, killing them.
Nate Wiggins, who's our number 1 corner this year, got worked by Sam Hartman.
Yes.
Absolutely demolished.
Watched it.
Both in Notre Dame and Wake Forest, but yes.
Yes.
With A.T. Perry as Wake Forest's number 1 receiver, too. That's what's crazy.
And I'll say this being very serious, and I love Brock Purdy. But if Sam Hartman got to the Niners, he would seriously, when I say seriously, listen for that QB1 spot in camp. Like, if I'm saying seriously, Sam Hartman could probably get it.
I say that about any team that drafts him. Somebody's going to be in trouble if they let that man. If you let him go Mr. Irrelevant or undrafted, because he's going to a team even if he goes undrafted. There's too much talent there, and he's the last of a dying breed of pro-style quarterbacks. If you go to our channel, there's a video that I posted. It was about the best play by a quarterback last year, and it was under Sam Hartman. They were literally like on the 1 yard line, and he sold this play with his eyes, not his arm. Not any quarterback in college is doing what he did, and he threw a perfect pass to the guy, and it was a first down, got them out of a bad situation. And I'm trying to tell people, I'm like, part of playing pro-style quarterback is confusing the defense with your movement and your eyes, because that's what everybody's looking at. And I've never seen another quarterback the whole year. And I'm a big Bo Nix fan. Bo Nix ain't doing that. Jaden Daniels ain't doing that. Drake May ain't doing. They're not doing that. But people hate on Sam Hartman because he took a chance on himself. I'm like, this is crazy, man.
We'll talk about it another day. I can't stay on much longer, but I'll say this much. Those other guys are throwing to very open windows. So everybody likes to see that.
Yep.
Name a receiver
When you
on
got
Notre
a
Dame.
team and you don't have receivers and your guys can't get open constantly and over the top, you got to get these little passes. Those are the NFL quarterbacks. The guys that are throwing it to open guys all the time, that's why most Ohio State quarterbacks don't do well. Most.
Check this out. You could clip this, Kevin, because I haven't said this on my show, but you just made a thought for me just now. Let's go through the top 6 quarterbacks real quick.
Okay.
Bo Nix had Troy Franklin and his brother Tez Johnson, both 1,000-yard receivers. And I love Bo. I told y'all this. Jane Daniels had Brian Thomas and Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors.
Yes.
Michael Penix Jr. had Rome Odunze, Jalen McMillan, and Jalen Polk. Drake May had Tez Walker and John Copenaver, who's still in college, one of the best tight ends in college.
And Amarian Hampton. I'm counting Amarian Hampton.
Caleb Williams had Brendan Rice and a slew of really good wide receivers. You can go down the list. Dorian Singer, all of them. Top guys.
Zacharias Branch.
Zachariah Branch, yep.
Or Zachariah,
who did Sam Hartman have?
But I literally can't tell you an other weapon besides Audric Estime. That's
and he fell apart halfway through the season.
He probably had.
He was still very productive.
Two nerds. Yeah, two nerds.
Well,
yeah. I'm gonna ask people that.
I'm gonna have to Google it.
I can't tell you. And like I watched Notre Dame games with y'all, with Dante and everything. I can't tell you. Besides, I can't tell you one that tell you.
Yeah, I can't tell you one that I was memorable.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
That's like I said, we'll see what happens. I think he'll go in the second round for sure. I know he won't go past that. Then I'm sure he won't get there.
Definitely there. I got this thing. I'm gonna have to watch this, Dante, about the Sam Hartman, man. I got to pull it up, so I'll definitely watch that, man. Listen, this has been awesome. This has been great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
2 hours. This is let me get my applause in here, man. Hold on, let me find my applause. Yeah. Hold on. This golf clap, but I need some stadium roar. Damn golf clap. It used to be worse. The dudes, the guys used to tell me what D-Dubs. What you used to say?
He's frying chicken, man. It sounded like fried chicken, man. It sounded like it's frying. It was terrible. That clap was terrible, bro.
Hey, chicken in your house, stop it.
Yeah.
Don't fry chicken in your house.
Yeah, that was an episode, right? Don't fry
chicken in your house. Now, listen, we have had a blast. ECG, East Coast Gridiron, man. Thank you guys so much for coming through, man. And
Thanks for having us, man.
Thanks for having us.
We usually do a thing at the end of the show. It's called Parting Shot. So I'm gonna start it, and it just basically say, "Hey, what's your take and your thoughts, real quick, on what transpired and what you might want to have transpired later." So I'm gonna begin with Don, the stat man. Don, Parting Shots. What you got for us, bro?
Hey, this draft is not going to be that much different than some of the other drafts. We are going to see a boatload of trades in this first round. We're going to set records with trades, and there's going to be a couple of them that are just going to be head scratchers. Like, what? Just wait for it.
Shout out to Don. Thank you so much, my brother. Appreciate that. Sora. So, what you got? Parting shots for us, man, as we rock out here, man.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a crazy draft. Trades are gonna be all over the place. After pick 1, nobody's gonna know what's happening. There's gonna be a lot of just not flip with the coin, but there's gonna be a lot of didn't see that coming. There's gonna be some teams that are just gonna draft not off of need, off of talent. If the Bills draft Ricky in the first round, I'm sending Dante the medical bill, all that type of stuff, man. Yeah, it's gonna be an insane. There's gonna be some pretty big trades happening, like the AJ Brown type of trade of like, oh, okay, cool. Well, that's gonna help them. I don't want to say Brandon Ayuk for DA. I'm not trying to wish that evil on him.
I think that's what's going to happen, but
yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be that kind of one trade of like interesting.
Right. Gotcha. Sorry. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Dante, shots, man. What you got for us, bro?
I'm going to make a prediction from this draft that none of these quarterbacks outside of none of the first round quarterbacks are going to go to the right place. So when we look back in about 2 years, the quarterbacks that got drafted after the first round are going to be the best quarterbacks out of this draft. Mark these words. But I think overall for the draft, I think this is going to be probably one of the most exciting drafts. I think there's going to be a lot of head scratching, but there's going to be a lot of excitement, and there's going to be a lot of decisions that get made that some of the casual fans won't understand until later down the road, where a tackle might get chosen over an edge rusher and he might become awesome.
Right.
A surprising pick like a linebacker might get chosen over a running back in the second round. That's going to be awesome at the time, and people are not going to understand. But in 2 years, we're going to be looking at the 2024 draft as one of the best drafts for all of our teams. I think we're all going to get better from it. I truly believe that. There's a lot of talent here.
Yeah.
Wait, fans overreacting to a pick that they don't understand? like Landon Dickerson over Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah? Haven't heard that before.
I think they're going to take the Eagles. They're going to take the Eagles coordinators thing to heart all around the teams. I don't think players are on short leashes, and now we've starting to see that with coaches. And
I'll tell you right now, if Edgerrin Cooper goes at 22, Don and I are going to be the only excited ones for it.
Wow. Let me go. The DA party shots, man. What you got for us, man?
Don't smoke crack.
Methamphetamines
ruin families.
See, I thought y'all was going to get a football take, not from this guy.
Yeah, he's football take. He's football take.
Is this along the levels of don't fry chicken in your house? Or
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Don't smoke Newports.
Yes. Don't let babies loose.
Yeah.
On the stairs without a baby gate. Like, don't all these things you can't do, man. Don't
Thank you, D.
Public service announcement.
Yes,
that's what
understandable.
D-Dubs,
take your trash out.
Yeah, right. All that. Yo, man,
Remember,
this
trash
is a great,
day is Tuesday.
definitely a great show, man. Appreciate you guys coming on, man. Rocking with us tonight. Like I said, it was awesome show. And yo, we looking forward to do it again, man. This is what we trying to do is build relationships with
topics,
different people, so we could help. It's a two-way street.
Grow each other's platform, man.
Yeah, grow each other. So I appreciate you guys.
Definitely, thank you so much.
And rocking with us tonight. But
yeah,
man, we'll do this again.
We definitely do it again.
Yeah.
Next time we get together, I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna be long-winded. Long story short, what did the UFL do or can do for the NFL? Like, how will it help? I'm into logistics and stuff like that. So, there was always a bottleneck of college players going to the NFL because there's so many college players and so little NFL teams. But with the UFL, could that be a minor league system at some point in time to move players through so we can have, a better game, right? Not so many young guys in, some young guys go to the UFL and get better, I'm not sure, but that's definitely a question since you guys cover UFL. Like to figure out where their place in the world will be in 4 years, 5 years, 6 years.
We talked about that a little bit. Short answer is we can't handle football like we handle all the other sports. We only play 14 to 17 games depending on, the prospective league you play in. So one dude might get banged up being the best player, coming to the NFL and be trash.
Yeah,
so
it's hard, man.
It's hard, man. I know we always talk about development, but like you get banged up real bad. It's not like hockey playing 82 games,
Oh yeah. But remember the World League used to put dudes in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the days, but I don't know how or why. So who knows? But hey, guys, thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
we appreciate it, man.
My part of shots is this has been an awesome show. Dante, thank you again. Sora, thank you again. Don, thank you again. Like I said, man, I reached out to Dante, man. He was like, yo, let's do this, man. And I look forward to doing this again, man. This has been awesome. This collaboration, man. And like D-Dub said, man, this is what this is about. This is about, making sure that we elevate each other's platform, man. And I'm about everybody winning, man. So, and I want everybody to win. So that's why, like you said, Dante, I sometimes, like you said, you peeking in on us and, while peeking on y'all. They had a show one night. They had the NCAA 14 going on. I was like, I need to pull out mine, man. Let's go. Let's do it, man.
No doubt.
Hey, it's all football, right? So
yeah,
I like that about our audience. You come for different stuff. Some people might come for NCAA. Some people might come for college. Some people might come for the UFL or the NFL. Like when we said we're all football, we meant that. So
no, you guys are all football, and you guys are not only all football, y'all. And like I said, I give y'all props to the highest degree. Y'all guys know football. And I've been watching y'all, man. Appreciate y'all guys, man. I'm not going to belabor the point, man. We're going to get out of here. On behalf of myself, I'm Kevin O'Warren, the host and moderator for, I'm just going to say the whole crew and ECG, the East Coast, East Coast Gridiron.
You all right?
I'm hungry, man.
Somebody go feed this man. Yeah.
The East Coast Gridiron podcast, fellas. Thank you so much, man. Yo, hey, y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. Have a great weekend, man. Hey, we'll see you on the flip side. Y'all be good. Peace.
Yeah, man.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Sports Chasers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms and connect with us on all social media channels for exclusive content and updates. We'd also love for you to join the conversation, share your thoughts, and become part of the Sports Chasers community. And remember to tune in next time for some more real sports talk. Until then, stay frosty.